Bello Matawalle, you would not understand exactly what he's talking about. Yes, I understand all over the world it is out of place to negotiate with criminals and to negotiate with terrorists. But you see, the federal government that is responsible for security of lives and property in Zamfara State and in the Northeast have failed. That is what is apparent. And you want the man, somebody is seated in Abuja, who is the commander-in-chief, and there's the governor, who is the chief security officer of the state. The people can see the governor every day. These are his people. These are his brothers. These are his sisters. These are his friends. These are his associates. And you want him to sit still and watch his people being killed on a daily basis. No reasonable person would do that. So in as much I understand that on grounds of principle, it is out of place to negotiate with criminals, but anybody who occupies the position of Governor Bello would not have a choice at this point when it is obvious that the military, the police, and the DSS has failed in undertaking successfully its activity. I would not at this point blame Governor Bello. I will ask him to go ahead and do everything possible within his power to ensure his people has peace.
All right. I understand we have Dami Adebayo join us as well. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Adebayo.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if you got part of the contribution made by Bernard Oniga on... Did you?
Yes.
Okay, I want to get your perspective on the commendation. Should he do all that he can, including this dialoguing with bandits, to restore peace in his state?
Absolutely, absolutely as well. I mean, I think what state governors are facing is they have, reached a point where it is clear that there is no development agenda between them and the federal government, and they're in this place where they're dealing with security challenges that are widespread, that, go across state borders as well. So it'd be interesting to find out that, while the bandits might be domiciled in certain states as well, their impacts, the resources, and the things that fund them and keep them, go beyond the powers of the state governor as well. And if dialoguing is the way for him to get some of these ills off short term, we must say as well, because these things are not long-term fixes to the actual problems, then by all means, he should be allowed to engage in it. And we also need to remember that this assertion or this claim that, governments do not negotiate with terrorists is something that is very recent as well, and it's more rhetoric than actually real life as well, because these things do have consequences. I mean, these are real people's lives we're talking about. So if there's any way you can save them, then by all means.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to Bernard. Bandits... even if, yes, we had a struggle earlier with understanding why they keep being called bandits when they're not stealing anything. But bandits in a dialogue or a negotiation are not going to be asking for foodstuff. They're not going to be asking for rice or chickens. So how do you think this would play out? Does this in somehow, some way mean a never-ending dialogue with these characters? And does this also maybe mean that taxpayers' money and funds from the state might be continuously given to these characters? Does this also mean side-by-side funding terrorism?
You have asked the most relevant question in the line of this conversation, and not just in this interview, generally about the security situation in the Northeast. You've asked a very critical and a very fundamental question. And your question seemed to be that these approaches seem to be an unending circle towards having a lasting solution to the issue of terrorism and banditry in the North. You would know that we've been told before now that there are different variants of the Boko Haram sect. There's the actual Boko Haram that is actually against Western education. There's an economic Boko Haram sect. There's a political Boko Haram sect. And so these people you call bandits are the economic Boko Haram. They have amassed arms and ammunitions, and maybe they have not seen the need to continue with the original intent of the Boko Haram. And so they are rather taking economic advantage of the North. They are rustling cattle, they are stealing crops, they are harvesting crops that farmers have planted and tendered over the years at times of harvest. They are collecting taxes from rural farmers, fishermen, and communities. And so we see that they have an economic agenda. And so now we are talking of negotiating with them. Since money is their focus, it is obvious, without saying, that money would be the major means of dialogue, or the major means of exchange for this dialogue to scale through. And Mr. Adebayo has said something very important, which I must reiterate, and that is the fact that these are immediate measures. They are not lasting solutions. So I'm encouraging the governor to go ahead and deploy these immediate measures of dialogue. It will have to do with exchanging money.
So there is a price to be paid for this, isn't it? He alluded already to the fact that this might, in some obscure way, be encouraging terrorism, as it were. And then you think about the implication of talking with these people. Bandits seem to be crawling out of the woodworks. The dialogue that he has been on since his governorship doesn't seem to be stopping the spate of bandits that are coming out. So what price are we paying for this short-term solution, as it were, to banditry, which a lot of persons would argue doesn't seem to be making much of a headway? I'll stay with you, Mr. Oniga.
Yeah, Felicity, you see, this saddens my heart. This conversation doesn't seem like we have answers to the many questions, because we have not seen the federal government, which is in charge of security of lives and properties. That's its primary and basic duty. If it fails in securing lives and properties, it has failed in everything, and it cannot achieve anything. And in law, we say you cannot put something and nothing on nothing and expect it to stand. Security is the bedrock of every society. And so if you have a commander-in-chief that has failed in commanding the battalions to be able to man security properly in the country, then you have these kind of situations. And so it is sad to say that the federal government of Nigeria has become helpless in this situation. And it is high time, well, it has been admitted over and over again. You don't even need to come out expressly to admit it. But it is sad to note that you and I live in a country where we are not safe, because the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and because the security apparatus and infrastructure in the country can no longer secure our lives and property. It is as good as saying that we do not have a government, in quotes. I know this doesn't sound too right, but that is what it means. If citizens are no longer safe, if citizens will pay allegiance to terrorist sects and group and pay taxes to be able to drive on the road, to be able to go to their farms, Felicity, there's no point for us to curry these things. I understand that the press is being gagged and the press is being censored these days. But let us say it the way it is, because like Dino Melaye have said, if you say the truth, you die. If you don't say the truth, we die. Our government has failed us. And it is high time. I am hoping and I am praying that the government would live up to its responsibility, as it were, because there is no other option at all. All of these pockets of negotiations here and there.
Hold on, Mr. Oniga. I want us to bring in Dami Adebayo. We are running out of time. Dami Adebayo, please quickly, respond to the same question. And also, does this then mean, there should be no expectation of justice for the victims and the families of these thousands of lives that have been lost to banditry?
So we're in a bit of a bind. We're in this situation where, we want peace and we need it to allow economic development to go on as well. But also in this bind where there is no economic development and, there's a proper challenge that we have with poverty as well. And especially in the areas that are hardest hit, you can see recurrently that these are some of the poorest areas in the country as well. So yes, we should do anything that we can to gain peace and then some development, and then maybe we can look towards justice as well. But again, if I lived in one of those communities, I'd probably be singing a different tune. I would definitely want justice, to be served in its most immediate form and term as well. But there's also the realization that maybe the Nigerian states might not be able to deliver that. And, as Mr. Bennett rightly said as well, so we are in a proper bind. For me personally, I would like to see us do everything we can to regain peace as well. And if this means negotiations, if this means punitive measures, I mean, hopefully, we hope that the solution does not lead to part of the problem as we have seen with Boko Haram in the north. But
if we're already having a conversation about dialogue with bandits, why can't we go on and have a conversation about dialogue with Boko Haram?
Well, I think the thing though is that we can, like he said, like Mr. Bennett said earlier on, that there are, economic aspects to this as well, and then there's obviously the more dogmatic, ideological based parts of this. So if we do understand who we're dealing with at certain points, so if we do know that, the bandits, are asking for resources and for money to keep perpetrating these attacks to get more money, then that's one way to deal with it. If we do look at people being taken advantage of poor economic conditions, ungoverned areas, because say what you will or say what you might about extremist groups, but the areas that Boko Haram did administer in its heydays as well, people willingly pay taxes. I'm not sure there's many people even in urban areas of the country that willingly pay taxes or that believe in the government in the same way as well. And I know that this might seem like a stretch, but it's the same idea. If we do not believe that the government is working towards the benefits of the majority of people, then people wouldn't be obliged to cooperate or pay taxes to this government as well.
All right.
So, yeah, go on.
That's the much time will actually permit us now. I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Dami Adebayo. Always a pleasure to see you.
Great seeing you.
Same, Bernard Oniga. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Have a good day. Bye.
The government needs to get to a place where they accept. I hate to say it, but get into a place where you now start to talk about dialogue means accepting defeat.
I'm totally not in, I don't share their sentiment, to be honest. I don't share their sentiment. I know that we're in a dire situation, but if we continue to look for short-term measures to cure a long-term problem, we will continue to only get short-term solutions that are not lasting, very transient, as we see. There is continuing spike in kidnapping, killing, banditry, and we are still negotiating with bandits, and then they do something with the Kankara boys. We come out and we seem to praise repentant bandits. I mean, what really are we trying to achieve?
For the third week running, I would say this again. Until the Nigerian government becomes honest about what truly is going on with regards to insecurity.
Maybe you want to travel to El Dorado.
I mean, we'll continue to
I hear the transport is very expensive.
This is once again, and I wouldn't argue with anyone who says that the reason we have not been able to defeat insurgents and insecurity in Nigeria for the last decade is because it truly is a cesspit of corruption. It is continue to thrive.
You're preaching to the choir, my brother. I'm just saying the transportation to El Dorado is hugely expensive. I don't think I've ever seen that amount, or we can come with that amount to get to El Dorado. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we have the concluding part after breakfast on Plus TV Africa.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being held ransom by idiots and bandits.
Once you are in government, you believe everything you do is right. And once you are in opposition, everything the government does is wrong.
And so it's time for us to take over power.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
Welcome back to The Breakfast. It's the final lap. One of my favorite things to do in life is laugh at Arsenal fans. With no wins in 7 games in the Premier League, Arsenal's problems continue to mount after being dumped out of the Carabao Cup following a catalogue of errors against Manchester City's side that had been misfiring in recent weeks. Arteta was seeking a big performance after a wretched run of form left them languishing 15th in the table, just 4 points above the relegation zone.
You are mean.
I drink Arsenal tears for
You are mean, Osargi.
I bathe in Arsenal
I might not be a fan of either, but you're mean. Udok and Joko, please, what's going on with this team? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. It's great to be here, but I also love to talk about Arsenal and talk about the problems facing the club. So it's been lingering for months now, and ranging from injury worries to the manager not doing the right thing, to the board. Everything seems to be going wrong for Arsenal, and it's beginning to tell on the club. And they are gradually getting to that point where it's possible for them to get relegated from the English Premier League. Wow. Yeah. Tragic, I know. You now look like he resigned on his own. Then Unai Emery came in, things were not working well for Arsenal, and yes, they had to let him go. Now Mikel Arteta is a club legend. Would he be fired? No one knows. And the recent information we got was that the sports director is fully backing the manager. So it's looking likely that Arteta might be there till the end of the season, but the Arsenal fans say Arteta out.
Is there something wrong with the team? Is there maybe some concern about the makeup of the team itself that is affecting their game time and time again?
True. You know, every club has a creative angle to it. Arsenal used to have a very creative midfield that helps them score goals, that helps them deliver the passes to the strikers to score these goals. Now, the question has been lingering, what is wrong with Mesut Ozil? Ozil has not played for Arsenal this season, and it's quite obvious that the vacuum his absence has created in the club. Arsenal needs a creative player to help them score goals. Without this, they can't score goals in the club. And currently, it looks like the players are not even ready to play for Mikel Arteta. Everything seems to be going wrong. Aubameyang is the captain of the club. He's not scoring goals. There's no leadership in the team, so everything seems to be falling apart.
Who was brought in to replace Mesut Ozil?
No one. No one. There's a Ceballos who came in from Real Madrid who is still on loan. There's a Thomas Partey who has come in to secure the defensive midfield role and is injured. So there's no replacement for Mesut Ozil, and he's on the side collecting £350,000 per week.
What's
that's
next
good life,
for
actually.
Arsenal?
A good life, a good life. Well, what next? The next game they have to play will be in the English Premier League against Chelsea. Yes, we know how Chelsea have been firing from all angles. So it just might be another
are you
loss.
saying their chances are nil?
Very slim. Yeah, I don't think they can get a victory against Chelsea. But I saw something on the internet yesterday that a former Manchester United player and a legend at Old Trafford, Van der Sar, just might be stepping in to replace Edu as a sports director at Arsenal. So we'll see how that turns out for Arsenal, if it turns out for good or for bad. But one thing is for sure, the Arsenal fans are fed up. They want to get results. They want to get something positive from the performance so far from the club.
All right.
Let's see what happens in the game. Let's not write them out. They still have fans.
Yeah,
Even the dislike that you have for them, they still have fans. Okay. Thank you very much, Udoka, for coming on The Breakfast.
Big game coming up 9 p.m. tonight.
Yeah,
what actual champions and people who know how to play football.
Look at
they're going to be playing Everton at 9 p.m. tonight.
All right. We'll see how that goes.
All right, thank you everyone for watching The Breakfast this morning. It returns tomorrow, same time here on Plus TV Africa. In the meantime, please do find us on social media. Stalk us if you please. Share your comments, your thoughts, and your observation on what we do here for you. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Remember also to stay safe. It's the most important information that you can get today, and act right in every single way to protect yourself and protect other people around you from the COVID-19 virus and the pandemic. We would love to see you in the new year, and so please stay safe. The news comes up next at 9 a.m. this morning. I will be here for you. Don't go anywhere.
And I will be out of here. Take care and see you soon.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being held ransom by idiots and bandits.
Once you are in government, you believe everything you do is right. And once you are in opposition, everything the government does is wrong.
And so it's time for us to take over power.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
You cannot continue to recycle poverty while you're spending a lot of money on unproductive ventures.
The government has to feel the impact.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, welcome to the show.
We are calling on all South Africans to wear a face mask whenever you leave home.
Governor of Lagos State has made the wearing of masks compulsory to fight against the coronavirus.
I want to encourage you to wear a mask wherever you go.
We will strictly ensure the mandatory use of face masks or coverings in public in addition to maintaining physical distancing and personal hygiene.
As most countries in Africa approach ease of lockdown, one of the essential rules of leaving the house is you must wear a face mask. Entrepreneurs say the pandemic, albeit having many disadvantages, has presented opportunities as well, and one of these opportunities readily open for many is the production of face masks. Owners of garment-making factories and do-it-yourself champions have all jumped on this line of business. The question is, how efficient are these other masks compared to the initially recommended N95 respirators and surgical masks?
N95 masks are also called respirators, and they are designed to be disposable, tight-fitting to the face, creating a seal to prevent particles from getting in. And then they also have specialized filters, which filters about 95% of air particles or droplets. Cloth masks are usually not designed to fit the face, and so it doesn't really protect you from aerosols or droplets or air particles that can get into the respiratory system.
A lot of people might have no choice but to use a cloth mask due to the cost and availability of the surgical masks. And for some, it has become a fashion accessory. Whatever the case may be, it is important that it meets the requirement of a protection against any kind of droplet or fluid from and into the mouth, nose, and eyes. For the surgical mask, you use, take off, and dispose appropriately. But for the cloth masks, how do we maintain proper hygiene?
When you need to take off the mask, try not to touch the middle part. Take it off from the loops around your ears and drop it into antiseptic liquid. So if you have laundry soap, take a mixture of laundry soap, a bit of bleach, okay, and a bit of an antiseptic liquid. They have different types on the market. Make a little mixture and then drop it in. Let it sit for about 10 to 20 minutes. Pour that liquid away, make a fresh one, and then wash it and air dry. If possible, some people will say iron it. If you can, do that. Also, wash your hands once you're done.
The Director General at NAFDAC, Professor Muji Adeyeye, encourages the use of non-medical face masks.
You mentioned that NAFDAC has announced not to use non-medical face masks. No, we did not do that. We said that non-medical face masks are for the masses, are for you and I. The medical face masks are for the healthcare workers because there is a shortage of the medical face mask.
However, NAFDAC warns against using low-quality face masks in terms of materials used for production. Remember, face masks are to be used while maintaining measures such as social distancing, not touching the face, eyes, or mouth, and washing of hands with soap for 20 seconds or use of alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Ensure that you stay safe. Your safety is our collective safety.
Thanks for joining us on News on Hour on Plus TV Africa. I am Osaogi Ogbonwan. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has recorded 999 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of infections in the country to 79,789. The 999 new cases were reported from 18 states and the FCT, with the Federal Capital Territory having 416, Lagos 324, Kaduna 68, Plateau State with 42, Kwara with 32, Kano 24, Gombe 14, Sokoto 12, Yobe also with 12 cases, Akwa Ibom 11 cases, Bayelsa 10, Rivers and Bauchi both with 7 cases each, Ogun State with 6, Oyo State 5, Edo with 4 cases, Taraba also with 4 cases, and Jigawa State with 1 case. President Muhammadu Buhari has extended the mandate of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, till the end of March 2021. Buhari announced the extension at a meeting he had with members of the task force, during which they presented their end-of-year reports to him at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The president attributed the extension to the second wave of the virus. He also directed the PTF and the Nigeria Immigration Service to ensure that all inbound passengers who fail to show up for post-arrival COVID-19 tests are sanctioned within the ambit of the law. And the federal government has directed civil servants from grade level 12 and below to stay at home. They are to remain at home for 5 weeks following the second wave of COVID-19 in Nigeria. The head of civil service of the Federation, Dr. Falashade Yemieson, made this known in a circular in Abuja. She pointed out that the development was as a result of the confirmed cases of COVID-19 around the country. The HOS said that the measure became imperative to streamline the number of officers who come to work daily. And also in the news, the Anambra State government has banned nightclub activities throughout the state for 1 month. The State Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Don Adinuba, in a statement said the ban takes effect from December 23, 2020. He noted that the ban is in response to reports of increasing incidences of COVID-19 in various parts of the world. According to him, a nightclub is a super spreader of COVID-19, as it is a place where people come in close contact with one another. President Muhammadu Buhari says only God can effectively supervise the border between Nigeria and the Republic of Niger. According to a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president spoke while receiving in audience former Vice President Namadi Sambo, who heads the ECOWAS election mission to the Republic of Niger. Adesina quoted the president as promising that Nigeria will give robust support to the Republic of Niger, which holds presidential and National Assembly elections later this month. He was also said to have applauded President Mamadou Issoufou for not attempting to tamper with the constitution of his country and elongate his stay in power after serving for the maximum 2 years. Or 2 terms, I beg your pardon. The Department of State Services has alerted Nigerians about plans by enemies of state to unleash terror on vulnerable places, including critical infrastructure, places of worship, as well as recreational centers during the Christmas and New Year celebrations. It said the plot would be executed through the use of explosives, suicide bombing, and other weapons. The DSS spokesperson, Peter Afunaya, in a statement, however, assured Nigerians that security forces had taken measures to thwart the plans, which, according to him, was meant to undermine the authority of the government. The DSS called on Nigerians to be extra vigilant and report strange movements to security and law enforcement agencies. The Nigerian Governors Forum has vowed to work with federal government and security agencies to end banditry and related criminality in the country. The NGF stated this when its delegation visited Katsina State in solidarity with Governor Aminu Masari over the abduction and subsequent release of 344 students of the government science secondary school in Kankara a few days ago. The students were, however, released 6 days later in a forest in neighboring Zamfara state, following negotiations between the gunmen and representatives of the state government. The delegation was led by NGF chairman Dr. Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, who was accompanied by Governor Abubakar Bagudu of Jigawa State, Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State, and Muhammadu Abubakar of Kebbi State. Governor Fayemi says that the governors are still very concerned about the security situation in the Northwest and the entire country. Still in the news, Nigeria, just like every other country in the world, has been confronted with lots of unforeseen events in the year 2020, ranging from health, economy crisis, and insecurity issues like the hijacked EndSARS protest. Our correspondent Jacinta Obiku, while looking into the major events of 2020, takes a look at the impact of the EndSARS protest and tells us more.
Protesting is as old as our country. Suffice to say that the birth of our freedom from colonial masters is a function of violence-free protest. Notably, Nigeria's independence movement even started as a youth protest. In the last quarter of 2020, the EndSARS protests all started from social media with the use of hashtags. Problems with SARS are reportedly not new. In fact, protests against its brutality date back to 2010, and announcements on disbanding it were first made in 2014, then again 2015, 2016, and 2019. But in 2020, footage of alleged SARS officers shooting at a young Nigerian in Delta State emerged on the 3rd of October on social media and triggered Nigerian youth in a rare anger to hit the streets across the country. It's been months now, and there is yet to be a coherent answers from the federal authorities, as the statement by the Lagos State Governor and military authorities remained contradictory as regards to who ordered the military's intervention. This has raised confusion and questions in the mind of some Nigerians.
A lot of us saw under our full glare, we saw what happened on the 20th of October 2020. And thank God for real technology, real-time technology. Otherwise, they would begin to make you feel like you are insane. You will begin to doubt what you saw.
The question is, can the EndSARS protest be considered to be successful considering government's response?
As far as EndSARS, the word, yes, successful because government responded by ending SARS. But was the protest as a whole successful? I think no. Because the protest overlived its lifespan and other extraneous factors came in.
But some believe the protest would not have happened if the government had done what they ought to do as leaders.
If some of the provisions in these laws had been faithfully implemented, we would never have had EndSARS.
Now, what are the lessons that should be learned by both protesters, activists, government, and the police?
The government should learn that there is anger and people can react at any point in time. Now, on the part of the organizers, the lesson to learn is be focused on what you want to achieve. If you are organizing a certain protest for whatever purposes, don't expand the frontier. Don't think government is weak. And as for the police should know they are servants of the people. And they should use the opportunity that happened to reinvent themselves. Now that they have been called to question, the activities have been called to question, it is now left for the police authorities at all levels to re-strategize and reposition themselves for better service delivery to the Nigerian populace.
As the year 2020 runs off, the memory of the protest will linger in the minds of many as a time the youth relentlessly asks for responsible governance from their leaders. Jacinta Obiku for Plus TV Africa.
Fight forward.
Thanks to Jacinta Obiku for that report. And still in the news, a large crowd thronging the web portal of the National Identity Management Commission for the process of obtaining their national identity number led to the crash of the portal on Monday. Many people who wanted to print the enrollment form, which is a major requirement for registering for the national identity number, were unable to do so and got stranded. Checks showed that the www.nimc.gov.ng as well as the www.nimc.gov.ng displayed error messages. The Commission reopened its enrollment centers on Tuesday for NIN registration after they were shut the previous day. It was observed that only applicants with completed application forms were allowed into the premises of the Commission in Lagos after they had received tally numbers earlier in the day. The NIMC officials encouraged those who had not been attended to as at 2 p.m. on Tuesday to return the next day as early as 6 a.m. to be captured. And the Royal Palace of the Olu of Warri has denied the reports in some quarters that His Majesty Ogiame Ikenwoli has died. While insisting on Tuesday that the monarch was alive, the palace said the Olu of Warri is indisposed and currently receiving medical attention by a team of qualified medical specialists. Addressing journalists at a press conference, the director of the palace administration in the Olu of Warri's palace, Clement Melagemi, expressed grave concern over the plethora of media reports insinuating that His Majesty Ogiame Ikenwoli has joined his ancestors. And the news continues shortly after this break. Stay with us. Still watching the news on Plus TV Africa. And now for stories in other parts of Africa. Israeli envoys arrived in Morocco, to meet the country's king and hammer out an upgrade of ties that was forged by the White House. Led by the National Security Advisor, Meir Ben Shabbat, the Israeli delegation was accompanied by Jared Kushner, U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law and architect of the pan-Arab rapprochement with Israel. The delegates' plane, painted with Hebrew, Arabic, and English words for peace, and a Maghreb good luck talisman, had a low-key reception at the Rabat airport. The El Al Israel Airlines direct flight was the first to be operated by a commercial plane from Tel Aviv to Rabat. Both countries anticipate a surge in tourism aboard such connections, mainly among the hundreds of thousands of Israelis of Moroccan descent. And the United Nations has appealed for $156 million to help the tens of thousands of refugees who fled fighting in Ethiopia's Tigray region, and is striving also to get a team on ground to investigate alleged human rights violations, including a mass killing in the region. Ethiopia's army has been fighting rebellious forces in the northern Tigray region for over 6 weeks in a conflict that has displaced close to 1 million people. Access for humanitarian workers has, until recent days, been impossible, and rights workers are now seeking access on the ground to verify reports.
An urgent appeal for $156 million to support refugees fleeing Ethiopia's Tigray crisis. The requested funds are needed to meet the critical humanitarian needs of Ethiopian refugees fleeing the conflict in Tigray throughout the first half of 2021. This appeal will also strengthen preparedness to receive refugees in other countries in the region in case of further refugee movements. Currently, many refugees remain in overcrowded conditions without proper facilities, and there continues to be a shortage of medicine and other supplies. We have seen a huge demand for family tracing and reunification, education, and for child-friendly spaces and nutritional programs.
Still in other parts of Africa, a Ugandan human rights lawyer who represents opposition figure Bobi Wine has been arrested on charges of money laundering. Nicholas Opio is the founder of the robust human rights defense organization Chapter 4 Uganda and is the lawyer for many activists. Rights groups have increasingly criticized Uganda over arresting political opponents and violating freedom of association and assembly, and of course freedom of expression, as last year authorities introduced new regulations restricting online activities and stifling independent media. Opio is detained at the Special Investigations Division. He was arrested with 3 other lawyers, Herbert Dakasi, Anthony Odor, and Esomu Obure. Moving outside Africa, President Donald Trump says he wants Congress to amend the coronavirus relief bill to raise the amount of stimulus checks and eliminate wasteful spending, among other issues. The U.S. Congress on Monday approved an $892 billion coronavirus aid package, throwing a lifeline to the nation's pandemic-battered economy after months of inaction, while also keeping the federal government funded.
However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk
is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment.
Still in the United States, President-elect Joe Biden has promised on to push for another economic stimulus that will include checks to ordinary Americans in early 2021. At a wide-ranging end-of-year news conference, Biden also warned that the darkest days of the coronavirus pandemic still lie ahead, and he slammed the Trump administration for what he said was its failures to prevent a recent cyber attack officials have attributed to Russia. Biden praised the bipartisan effort that led to a $900 billion relief package being passed by Congress this week, but said that government will have to do more.
This attack constitutes a grave risk to our national security. It was carefully planned and carefully orchestrated. It was carried out by using sophisticated cyber tools. The attackers succeeded in catching the federal government off guard and unprepared. Foreign actors have been working this breach since late last year, at least last year. The truth is this: the Trump administration failed to prioritize cybersecurity. It did that from eliminating or downgrading cyber coordinators in both the White House and at the State Department, to firing the director of Cyberspace and Infrastructure Security Agency, to President Trump's irrational downplaying of the seriousness of this attack. Enough's enough.
From the United States now to business news. The bulls extended their dominance in the Nigerian equity market to 7th successive sessions as the all-share index appreciated by 1.20%. At the close of transactions, the ASI gained 450.21 absolute points, representing a gain of 1.20% to close at 37,893.61 points. Similarly, the overall market capitalization appreciated by 235 billion naira to close at 19.805 trillion naira. The uptrend was driven by price appreciation in medium and large capitalized stocks, including Dangote Cement, Ectena, Cadbury Nigeria, Zenith Bank, and United Bank for Africa. And the price of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly known as cooking gas, sold to marketers in the country has risen by over 20% in the past 1 month, with consumers paying more for the product. The naira plunged on November 30 to 500 per dollar at the parallel market, its lowest level in more than 3 years, from around 462 naira to the dollar at the start of the month. It traded at 476 against the greenback on Tuesday. A gas plant in Lagos refilled a 12.5 kilogram cylinder for LPG for 4,000 naira on Tuesday, up from 3,200 naira in November. And the Minister of Power, Salim Aman, says Nigerians are assured of a robust and reliable power supply as the country witnessed its highest energy of over 11,500 megawatts and attained a generation of over 5,520 megawatts for the first time in the history of Nigeria. The minister stated this while on an on-the-spot assessment tour of the National Control Center at the Transmission Company of Nigeria in Osogbo, the Osun State capital.
For the first time, we have generated the highest energy in this country, over 115,000 megawatt hour, and we have also attained a generation of 5,520 megawatts, which is the first in the history of this country. Assure Nigerians that we will give them a robust, sustainable, and also a reliable power supply.
NCC has a quite number of issues and challenges to contend
with in its day-to-day operations. Since the operations sector provides services to all users of the grid, namely generation, transmission, and distribution sectors, the major challenges that confront it is invariably related to the challenges faced by these sectors.
For the first time, we have generated higher.
PLOS TV Africa. The news will be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
What we do not understand.
Breaking news, the Academic Staff Union of University, ASU, on Wednesday has called off its strike, ending a protracted industrial action that started since March 2020. ASU National President Biodun Ogunyemi made the announcement during a briefing of the union in Abuja. Coming up after this, a short break is our roundup on sports news. Stay with us. And now in sports news, FIFA has lodged a criminal complaint against former President Sepp Blatter over the finances of a museum in Zurich, Switzerland. The complaint relates to the involvement of Blatter and other former officials in the FIFA Museum project. It is the latest allegation of financial impropriety against Blatter, who resigned from his post as president in 2015 amid a corruption scandal. The 84-year-old has always denied any wrongdoing. FIFA, the football world's governing body, says Blatter's previous administration cost them 500 million Swiss francs to renovate a building that the organization doesn't own, while also locking itself in a long-term rental agreement on unfavorable terms. And that's our news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates, stay with us. And of course, join us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PLOS TV Africa. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel at PLOS TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Thank you for watching. I am Osao Gie Ogbawa.
We can't talk about education reform if we don't decolonize our education system.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize. Because it's just cultural. And I think it's just human nature.
They stop paying us salary. I don't like remembering it.
I am angry at Nigeria. I'm angry at this government which seems to be letting us down. I'm angry at us as a people.
In the process of struggling to free myself from his hand, he tore my pants and he raped me.
Yes, I commit offense truly.
Young girl, do you know where you are going? I say, I'm going to America. I say, now so that they talk, you are going to Libya, which America?
Accident do mark our place. Some people they die now.
This is Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being held ransom by idiots and bandits.
Once you are in government, you believe everything you do is right. And once you are in opposition, everything the government does is wrong.
And so it's time for us to take over power.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bookie November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being
Hello and
welcome to the show today. This is Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoku, bringing you the very best of sports and everything sports. I've got Wale Scott right here on the show, and we are good to go to deliver the very best of sports information for you this morning. Good to have you with us, Wale.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
You're already in your white shirt already.
Oh, is there anything happening today?
I said you're already in your white shirt, and you're asking...
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything particular about
Guilty
the white.
you.
No, I'm not guilty. I just thought to wear white today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts. Okay.
It's not an Ankara. I know there's this local parlance that says, I think it's Yoruba. And it's about
You're throwing a swap at Buki.
No, but is it when if you wear Ankara, if you don't wear Ankara, you won't eat semo?
No semo for you. You can eat rice, though.
So if you wear white shirt, you can eat rice?
You can eat semo.
Semo.
Or amala.
Or you stain your shirt if you eat semo, because when you eat amala and begiri, you know, when you're enjoying the moment, it just
drips.
Yeah,
that's
when you know you enjoy the food.
Sad.
Okay. Well, before we get our viewer very, very mouth-watery this morning, let's serve you some sports information. But before we get to the CAF Champions League and Confederation Cup now, something actually struck us this morning. How do we get to treat our fallen heroes? Over time, we've been talking about this, and it feels like the government is not doing enough. We just keep hearing excuses upon excuses. But do you think we've done a great job when we look back at our fallen heroes? Have we done them justice?
Nothing. I think our leaders should go to their rooms, strip naked, stand in front of the mirror, and tell the truth to themselves. Like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. You know, and I have not been close to a lot of them, but I will tell you about one. Joseph Dosu had an accident around Ikeja area, and the NFA promised to help him out. And then after a few years, not months now, they told him he was not on official duty, so they couldn't give him money. My question is, why waste his time for so long? Sam Okwaraji, this today, 30 years ago, died at the National Stadium in Surulere. And, okay, not today, but
on the 12th of August.
On the 12th of August. And we look at him today and we're asking ourselves, the man died for nothing. The mother consistently told the world that she was hungry, she couldn't feed, her farm wasn't yielding products. And we built him a bust instead. A bust in front of National Stadium. The bust is so dirty, it's so bad, so unkempt that you cannot put your hand on it, take a picture, a selfie. You can't. It's that bad. The woman is dead now. And you can tell the government, eat your heart out. She's dead. You know, it doesn't matter anymore. The child died serving the country. The woman is dead now, begging the government to please help her out. And I'm not saying she died because of the government did not answer her. It could be some sickness, but at least the government could have done something.
Yeah.
I know for one that Paul Gascoigne, Gaza, had a drinking problem, a self-inflicted problem. But the government of the UK government still sought for time. And then people insult John Obi Mikel when he says things like, I will not die on the field of play for Nigeria. And then somebody said, over drinks, not official, over drinks is gossip, if you ask me. He said, Nigeria is not worth dying for. And whether he said it or not, whether it's gossip or not, I agree with him totally. Nigeria is not worth dying for. We've seen Femi Opabumi. I know Paul Hamilton in my former employ, not here. I used to take him newspapers because, you know, when you're in the on the sports desk, you get complimentary newspapers. I used to take him my complimentary newspapers every day. We'll read, we'll analyze sports, we'll talk about it. As at then, one leg was gone, had been amputated. And then the second one was really hurting him, and he had to amputate that one too. And his wife, who is a Ghanaian, was consistently going to the glass house in Abuja to go and say, this guy is in pain, one leg is gone already. He took the second leg off because the pain was too much. He died 2 days after. Now, the woman hasn't gotten paid for Hamilton's problems and sufferings till now.
Wow.
That's how we treat our heroes. hero stars.
There's actually a whole lot. Also remember the legend himself, the late Rashidi Yakini, who scored Nigeria's first goal at the World Cup, also passed away. We say may their gentle souls continue to rest in peace. Well, one team that is looking forward to doing great things in the CAF Confederation Cup is Rivers United, and their players are willing to give it all on the football pitch. And one of them, the attacker, Godwin Aguda, said his team is motivated to go all out for a positive result, despite playing away from home. Now, Aguda scored in both legs of the first-round qualifying matches against Futuro Kings and is eyeing more goals as the club chases a spot in the competition proper. Now, the Rivers State team will take on their opponents, Bloemfontein Celtic, in the CAF Confederation Cup. And the players are ready, and I also learned that they've had their COVID-19 test, expecting their results to come out later today, but that was hours before the match. But you're still believing that they're going to lose. You have a bet, remember? Tomorrow I'll be 10,000 naira richer.
Let me break it again.
Yeah.
I will put 10,000 naira, 1,000 naira notes, cash. I don't know if I can get new notes though, but 1,000 naira notes on this table, and you will collect it.
Exactly.
And see, I didn't say they can't draw, but they definitely cannot win.
Okay.
Again, and I'll tell you why. You see, Nigerians, please, let's identify with something. Udoka is on the same wavelength with me, guys, at home. However, he is the presenter of the show. He has to stay safe. If you give him the chance to be on this side of the divide, he will probably say the same thing I'm saying now. However...
But give them a chance.
Udoka, I understand that. I had a point in my life when my child didn't pass on exams in a particular very, very, very nice school in Lagos. The whole world knows the school. And they said, okay, she didn't pass, but bring 50,000 naira. And I told her to repeat the class. I think she still feels bad about it now. This young lady is in university right now. But I did not bribe, which they wanted. And she repeated, and she went to school the next year. Too bad. That's the way I am. And I feel that you don't get results if you don't work towards it. The Ghanaian league started a while ago, despite COVID. The Zambian league. We are supposed to be Africa, giants of Africa, and we are not, obviously not. Our league has not resumed. Our league has never resumed the dates they tell us it will resume. They will always postpone. And that's why even the guys who announced the league, the Amajus and all that, will tell you tentatively. I have never heard an announcer of our league say, our league will start. I always hear tentatively. Now, let me create a little ripples against this morning. I think our sports is going to become the ripple bringing browser browsing people at the end of the day, because the truth be said, our league guys always wait for the government to bring money first. When the money comes, after it's shared, then the league starts. Until the money shows, the league does not start. So our league will not start until government shows money. And unfortunately for them, it will take a longer while though, because COVID and SARS, the monies are there, but can't be disbursed now. So NFF guys, if you want to delay us, no problem. But I know the league will not start now because the monies will not be disbursed anytime soon.
I think that will affect the performance of Rivers United.
Listen, guy, Ghana and other countries have better structures, have already, let's assume that they will have better structures. Their leagues have resumed. South African League has resumed. They've played their COSAFA Cup, They've played other things. The league is... So, which means Bloemfontein Celtics play league games in the South African League steady. At least once a week. They are in competition like regularly. They have a better structure. Now, Rivers United is going there, have not been paid half their salaries during COVID, have not been playing competitive football in their league. Their league has not even resumed yet. They've been... See, they've
played a couple of friendly competitions where we can say that, yes, they've gotten a bit of training, a bit of rigorous football games that should be enough for them to at least get a result away from home.
Oh, they've played a few friendly games against, for example, if they were in Lagos, against teams like Ogba 11, against teams like Oworo 11, against teams like Apapa 11. And they're going to go and play in a team that has a better structure and their league is working and you expect us to win. Like I said, let me promise again on the show, my name is Wale Scott. I will drop 10,000 naira, 1,000 naira notes on this table and give it to Udoka if Rivers United beat Bloemfontein Celtics.
All right, well, we'll see how that turns out for Rivers United.
Lucky you if they win.
If they win, yeah, I'll be 10,000 naira richer, so you can actually join. We'll go and get...
Tell them your Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Let Bells, tell the Bells to do it for you so I can.
At Wale Scott.
No, your Twitter handle is not.
Of course, my Twitter
I'm giving you the money now.
At Udoka_Njoku. Well, let's go over to Arsenal and let you know that with no wins in 7 games in the Premier League, Arsenal's problems continue to mount after being dumped out of the Carabao Cup, following a catalogue of errors against Manchester City, a Manchester City side that had been misfiring in recent weeks. Now, we thought Arteta and his team were going to at least get something out of the Carabao Cup because the team knows how to win these kind of games. But yes, that game ended 4-1 in favor of Manchester City and a lot of errors in that game. It felt like the Arsenal players didn't even know, they didn't have a clue what to do. And the beleaguered Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta, described the 4-1 EFL Cup quarter-final defeat at home to Manchester City as a hard one to take. Let's listen to Arteta, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Arsenal.
Yeah, a really painful moment again. We started the game conceding really early, a really soft goal. And after that, in this moment, to get through that, obviously, is difficult. But the player reacted, to be fair, and we started to grow as the game was moving forwards. We scored a goal, a really good goal. And after that, I think that we were the better team for the next 25 minutes. But when we had the best moment in the game, we conceded another soft goal. And obviously that makes the game even harder. But still, we kept going. We had an open situation where we can play Laka through. We missed the pass. And on that counter, they scored the goal in an offside position. And obviously, after that moment, the game is over. Well, I don't know if he was trying to be kind. Those actions are a reality, but a reality as well is the difference between the teams in certain moments, but not for the whole match. But still, you lose the game, and that's it. That's the story of the game, I think.
From that.
It is, but we win and lose together. And Alex has played other games. We decided to play him tonight for many reasons, and that's it. The responsibility is for all of us. It was a combination of the amount of games that some of them have played, some injuries that we have at the moment, and players that they could not be even involved tonight, and others because there are players that deserve to play. Well, I think Gavi, he has a unique energy and a way to transmit his passion for the game. I think he plays the game in a different way to any other player, so it's hard to compare him. But what I have to say is that it's great to have him back to bring that spirit, that fight, and after such a long time to play against.
Well, looking at Mikel Arteta, you can tell that he's not happy. He's sad. And
yeah, but what he just said now, in the course of his sadness, was just balderdash, really, if you ask me, because the team is doing badly.
Yeah.
I've always said I was not able to pick what Arsenal's problem is with the good players they have. Our guy in UK on Saturday, I hope he comes on air again, on Saturday again, and we can talk about it and say, let him give me a tentative reason why Arsenal are losing their games. But like we said on the show yesterday, the lifeline is gone. They didn't have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he could have made a difference, you know. When I watched the match before I went to bed, it was 1-1, and I was like, oh, good, Arsenal is holding on. And then I woke up in the morning and it was 4-1. 4-1. And then I saw you again this morning and we're like, I won a 4-1. I'm like, oh, wow. But the truth be said, I think that they need a overall. And the overall is not about the squad. The squad is fantastic. I think the board and another one, we hear that the technical director, Edu, he's leaving, and they're going to bring in Edwin van der Sar. Now, Edwin van der Sar is someone who was a Manchester United legend.
Yeah.
And
he is still a legend.
He believes in youth. And that shows in the players that Ajax sold. Van de Beek, De Ligt, fantastic players. These are players that are going to make it happen in the future for world football. So, which means that the Ajax Academy is the biggest and the best in the world.
Yeah.
After that comes the Arsenal Academy. You know, so I think that if you have players like, you can produce players like De Ligt, players like Van de Beek, and these are the future of football, world football. And so he's going to come in there, if he does come, he's going to come in there with that attitude of, I'm going to groom the youth, which means that players like Bukayo Saka will actually have a chance to make it happen. I want to use that to explain a Chelsea problem. Chelsea came in and brought in matured, experienced players for plenty money. Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, and Ben Chilwell. And they've come and after a while, they've gone on the drought season. They're not scoring anymore. And it's the guys who were in Chelsea before now who are actually making it happen right now. Tammy Abraham, Pulisic, Olivier Giroud, and wow. So I think it comes to a point where you realize that it's not the players that make it happen. It's actually your style.
Yeah.
And maybe Mikel Arteta's style might just be the problem. Maybe a Mesut Ozil. Man United had major problems. And then he brought in a Bruno Fernandes and everything changed. So one tree can make a forest. Maybe you should take the risk and try Mesut Ozil and see. Maybe just that one tree could just make... Bruno Fernandes came into Man United and everything just settled. Like there was never a ripple in the first place. You know, and I think you should try that because I've just given an example with Chelsea now. They brought in massive players. These guys have massive talents, bought them for plenty of money. But the guys who are scoring the goals for Chelsea as we speak are the newbies are making it happen. The old school guys are making it happen. Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, Pulisic are the ones that are scoring now. And then the Timo Werners that they bought for plenty of money, hoping they'll make a difference. On the drought.
Will it be a difficult one because Arsenal's next game will be against Chelsea? Will it be a tough one, or do you think the Gunners will get a positive result against Chelsea?
I think if I was a Gunners fan right now, I would never think of anything optimistic with them right now. It's going to be a downturn for them. And then I want to believe that Lampard is going to try and say, okay, good, let me rest Pulisic, my old school, and bring the newbies in who want to prove a point. Because now, the old school guys in Chelsea are making a point. So they want to make a point and say, okay, our coming here is not a fluke, you know. So he's going to use the newbies, Werner, Ben Chilwell, Kai Havertz, and the rest of them, and then he's going to try and come at them, Ziyech and the rest of them, and I think Arsenal don't have a chance. Without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and them playing like this, they played 1-1 and initially they looked good. And then towards the end of the game, just crumpled, you know.
Well, more games will be played today in the Carabao Cup. Stoke City will take on Tottenham Hotspur and Everton will be taking on Manchester United. Both games will be quite interesting. Stoke City against Tottenham. We'd love to see what Jose Mourinho will put out there. And for Manchester United, the Man United fans have regarded Man United as the best club in the world. But let's see what they can do against an Everton.
They call them
side.
the Comeback Kings.
The Comeback Kings. All right. Well, this is a cup game, so let's see how far they can go in that one. Let's talk about Lionel Messi, whose 644th goal came in the 65th minute of their win over Real Valladolid, and it was enough to break Pele's record of the most goals for one club. Now, Brazil's great Pelé scored 643 goals in 19 seasons for Santos in his homeland between 1956 and 1974. Great performance for Lionel Messi, and he's been regarded as one of the greatest of all time when it comes to playing football. But yeah, beating Pele's record is one huge achievement for Lionel Messi. And just yesterday, he was given the Spanish La Liga highest goal scorer for the 2019-2020 season. So great one for Lionel Messi.
Messi was built to play football. Like I said yesterday, ability and ability.
Follow
no, Messi is follow come. You know, no doubt. And Ronaldo is ability. He works hard to make it happen. But I see a Messi who's losing his magic. You know, the grease has gone off, and water has washed it away. And I don't see a miraculous Messi, the magical Messi anymore. But he's still scoring goals. Those days, Barcelona would always say, okay, good, let's work for Messi. And they did that and it worked. In Ronaldo, every team he's played in, he works for himself. True. Nobody worked for him. But at Messi, they always worked for him. And in that game, I think they worked for him again as usual. And he scored his goal. He's beat Pele's record. But I still see a Messi who's lost his magic, a Messi who will fade out very quickly. In fact, quicker than 2 years from now. You know, and we'll see a Ronaldo who will continue to use his ability, and then the older he gets, the less stronger he becomes, and then we'll see Ronaldo to phase out. We're seeing a new regime of
the Haalands of this world and Mbappe.
Haaland, Mbappe, Donny van de Beek, De Ligt, new players going on, Ansu Fati coming up, and I've always been a fan of change, and I've always felt like it's been Ronaldo, Messi for too long. Lewandowski, a breath of new life, if you ask me. And I want to see De Ligt, Van de Beek, Mbappe, Neymar. It doesn't matter who or how he gets there.
He doesn't something different.
New names.
But looking at this record now, 644 goals. Look at how long it took for Lionel Messi to step up and beat that record and set a new one. How long do you think it will take for Messi's record to be broken?
Very soon. Players now, we have better structures now. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know whether they give them more anabolic steroids or something now these days. I don't know, you know, but these guys are on fire. We look at Erling Haaland, who plays 30 goals and scores 40-something goals. What's he on? I don't know if he's on anything, but these guys are only getting better every day. And so if a player in his youth age, say age 21, plays 39 games for Borussia Dortmund or something, and scores 40-something goals in 39 games, to make 400 goals in 4 years, no go hard too much.
True.
Won't be too hard.
For Lionel Messi, who scored his first goal for Barcelona in 2005 and has gone on to win 10 La Liga titles and 4 Champions League, is out of contract at the end of the season and is also able to talk to other clubs from January. So let's see if Barcelona are prepared for life after Lionel Messi, because all fingers are pointing to the door out of Barcelona. But hey, he's Messi and he loves the club, and I'm sure they will be in talks with him, especially when they're done with the Barcelona presidential election. I'm sure they'll have a conversation with Lionel Messi to keep him at the club. But let's see, when the transfer doors open, we'll see if he will leave or stay. And in the Spanish La Liga, Getafe will take on Celta Vigo. And Real Madrid, who are behind Atletico Madrid, will take on Granada. And Deportivo Alaves will be up against Eibar, and Real Betis will take on Cadiz in the Spanish La Liga. And the Italian Serie A, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo play yesterday, but it was a difficult one for him. Yes, games will go down later today. AC Milan table toppers in the Italian Serie A will take on Lazio, and Bologna will take on Atalanta. Roma versus Cagliari, Napoli against Torino. Inter Milan will be taking on Hellas Verona away from home. But I like how the league is actually going, not just in Italy. I like how it's going in Spain, in England, and also in France. The big boys are not topping the table and leading with so many points the way we used to know them too. Juventus are struggling.
I think it's good. You cannot continue to buy names. Yeah, you can make a brand of yourself, but you can't continuously believe that because he's a brand, he will surpass all your expectations, you know? And we saw Leicester win in England, and we're seeing teams like Bologna making it happen in the Italian Serie A. We're seeing teams making it happen in the French Le Championnat. You know, so I think basically it's about the names are gone now. It's what the person can do on the field of play. You know, and if Leicester can win in England, if Arsenal can be on 15, 16, very close to relegation in the English Premier League, almighty Arsenal, and we see Barcelona way back down there, Real Madrid struggling to be on top, to remain on top there, I think it's good for football. Yeah, I think it's good for football. I think that it only shows that too many. I ask myself a question: you buy Ronaldo for that amount? Let's assume, God forbid that he falls and dies on the field of play, the club will pay too much for insurance. How can you buy a human being? Even a human being can break down and get a high blood pressure, cardiac arrest, and fall and die. And you pay them for so much and still pay for their insurance in case they die. You know? So I think it's not about the names anymore. I think it's about your efforts on the field of play. Arsenal have bought so many names. Thomas Partey, Holding. They're losing. True. Manchester United bought Bruno Fernandes, bought an Edison Cavani, and luckily they're actually getting their acts together now. Chelsea have gotten Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, and it's the old school guys that are actually scoring the goals. Pulisic, Tammy Abraham, and Olivier Giroud. So I think it's not about the brand and the name anymore. It's about what you can do. Forget your name now. What can you do on the field of play now?
All right, what can you do on the field of play? But one thing we can do right now is to leave the studio because we are out of time. Yes, our director has told us to leave the studio, and we're preparing for something big later today right here at Plus TV Africa. But as always...
in your white shirt.
In your white shirt. And gin.
In your own white shirt.
Blue
I'm
gin.
not wearing white shirt.
Blue gin as well. And have fun and eat rice and semu and begiri. But yes, thank you, Wale, as always. And we're looking forward to that event later today.
Yes.
But I'm Udoka Njoku. Reach us on social media on Plus TV Africa, at Plus TV Africa on Instagram and on Twitter. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Plus TV Africa. And of course, the website is www.plustvafrica.com. Keep it locked down to Plus TV Africa because big stories live here.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoku.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
You cannot continue to recycle poverty while you're spending a lot of money on unproductive ventures.
The government has to feel the impact.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, welcome to the show.
For upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Vicky November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Oto Ilogbo, a slum in the midst of the city. We got here a dry morning, and midway it rained, and just maybe giving us a clearer reality of what life truly looks like in Oto Ilogbo slum.
Well, this community came into the existence in 1993, when some of us, we need shelter. And in the absence of Lagos State or federal government, local government, lack of mass house or low-cost house to the teeming Lagosians, that's why some of us come to this community and create something out of nothing.
This over 20 years old community is home to different people of different tribes who share one thing in common, which is living in deplorable conditions.
This community, as you can see, is a waterlogged area. in which coming down to this community has to do with a lot of author, because they recognize that at least we are here and they apportion like 2 rooms, 3 rooms to some of us to live. Then we pay goods and we put our makeshift buildings for people to live. And since then, we have been appealing, meeting the government, local government, the councillors, House of Assembly, House of Rep, that at least this government need their collaboration, need their assistance for development projects. But since then, even as of 2008, when we let's meet the Lagos State government, that is where we believe and understand that we have to register with the Ministry of Rural Development and Lausa. But since then, we have been doing our normal and necessary meetings and arrangements. But since then, we have been still open that someday, because here, as you can see, no dualization of roads, no drainage, no proper water, and no toilet. And we are whatever we are doing here, we are just take pains to gather ourselves and do whatever we need for ourselves. So that is, we need a lot of things, nothing like school, nothing like health care, nothing like anything social or government intervention, as we are here since 1993.
A community with hundreds of school-age children can only boast of a makeshift school built by the community leader. In a country like Nigeria, where according to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, 1 in every 5 of the world's out-of-school children is in Nigeria, despite the fact that primary education is officially free and compulsory. The organization said about 10.5 million of Nigeria's children aged 5 to 14 years are not in school. Only 61% of 6 to 11-year-olds regularly attend primary school, and only 35.6% of children aged 36 to 59 months receive early childhood education. Again, UNICEF puts Nigeria's out-of-school children at over 10 million as at 2019. But in July of the same year, the Federal Minister for Education, Adamu, said the number of out-of-school children in the country now stands at over 16 million. According to him, the 16 million figure was based on the February 2019 census. Adamu noted that out of primary school children stood at 10 million, while children out of secondary school are 6 million, bringing the total to 16 million. Passionate and determined to make a difference through the ballot, this community leader tried his luck at contesting for a political position.
I do contest for councillor for 4 times. I contest for local government chairman 2 times. I contest for House of Assembly 2 times. Even 2019, I'm one of the candidates in the INEC list. To know that level of why we are so much aggressive, not aggressive but aggressive to make sure that my people benefited in the scheme of democracy or in governance. At least we have the credibility, we have the criteria to be in that seat. If you people are in the seat, you cannot do the needful. Let people like us be in that seat and help because we move around the community, we saw the poverty on daily basis.
As we went around the community, it became even evident that the needs are palpable.
We are having a lot of challenges for the past 12 years to 15 years of existing. You can see this is one of the issues we have here. You can even say this is one of the, we have tried our best in terms of intervention from the government, but no avail. This is a gut actually that come far away, over 20 miles, all the way from Yaba to this place. And suddenly somebody just built an hotel here, and we find the person. Intervention of federal government is not available. Nobody assists us in terms of fighting this rich man that just suddenly come to buy some of our people's land here and build this merchant hotel here. So where's the hotel? The hotel is located. This hotel. This is the back of the hotel. He built it all the way from the railway line to this place. So the hotel now spread the water. The water did not pass through the drainage again. You can see you can see the way the water is. It started from here. All majority of our building here has collapsed. This is part of it here, and all these occupants here, living here also, they vacate because of this water issue. This is it, and we have a lot of children, mothers in this place too. But majority of them have packed away from here, all because of this water.
For 7 months pregnant Zainab, whose abode is literally planks of wood put together, healthcare is an urgent need.
If I sick, there is no way to pass, and we don't have antenatal here. but we just go. We are going out far for this place. That is why I sick like three months ago, but I go away. My mother come and take me from here because we don't have antenatal, we don't have clinic.
Zainab now has a baby girl, 41-day-old, as at the day of filming.
I gave birth to May 24. That's Joya. I just want to go there. There is no any lockdown again.
Life seems just normal, and right here, many homes and families are made in spite of the clear poverty and lack seen here. Paul is a petty trader whose business has been halted as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. He takes us to where he calls his home.
Since when I come this Lagos, now here I've been staying. This is my room. This is my last born.
How many rooms do you have?
Just 4 rooms. I don't stay here now almost 20-something years now. When I live for this side. And as I live for here, now this Lagos self, I see my wife married. And now here self, I begin born children. I have almost 8 children, plus grandchildren now, where they are among. So since that time now, I manage my life, still reach today. Use the freezer from this is why they use some do market from Ido. So I just bring and come because of as they say make you come out, say they don't want to make everybody stay for Ido again. Now make you carry this one, come here, come stay. This is bathroom. For bathroom. Yeah, this is my daughter here. This is the hero. And the children. When rain fall, everybody go just go inside because of the rain. Because the slum water will just plenty. Today, the water no plenty. That's why if here they allow people to pass because of the rain this thing. So that's why. That's what we did. See, this is another room beside that place.
With open defecation common here, diseases arrive. Once again, according to a UNICEF and World Health Organization monitoring report, 1 in 4 Nigerians, which translates to about 47 million people, practice open defecation. And in this slum, proper convenience is not the norm. Otoilogbo, like other communities, have government representatives, and we reached out to one of them.
Good afternoon. This is Agbodemo Online. Yeah, we are in between Oto community and Ilogbo in Apa Road. That's exactly where you are talking about. Yes, you know, as far as CDA is concerned, we have a different CDA in Constituency 1, in which Ifesowapo, Ilogbo, Oto Extension, around the Upper Road, John Street, is one of the 34 recognized CDA in Lagos Mainland Constituency 1. So the community in question is in between Oto community and Ilogbo Extension, that is Upper Road. Because the community there needs government, representative, and philanthropist assistance in terms of development. That is the truth. Yes. So, I have to get the audio from you. Even we are their neck. We are their neck, and likewise the House of Representatives, Abuja, Dejimo. We do believe, as we all know ourselves, this is Agbodemo Online, at least we know ourselves, and what we are saying in essence is that at least we are talking about the government representative and likewise the community interventions. What we are saying here now is that at least if by virtue of position, your positions, we should be able to liaise with you and come about at least 2 assistants to elevate and come about development of that Otto extension. We are very correct. We are very believe in government intervention, government policy, local government, and that's why we said that we are on their neck as far as local government is concerned. And the honourable member of the House of Representatives, Abuja, Honourable J.J. Jimo, that is we have talked to them too. That is why we not well. Since we have 3 presently and the councillor in the Ward B and Ward A, as far as the government is concerned, we still need to talk to you at least, even to pay a day visit to the community and see things, so that we can be able to tell the speaker or the other honourable in the state or even the governor on our behalf. Okay.
We may not have gotten all the answers, but we leave this community with this commitment.
You do understand that there's a pandemic around at the moment. That's the strong factor. So it is not wise to meet with many community leaders. The person I've just spoken to, it would be fine if I could meet with that person and we could have a discussion. But what's more important in this regard, based on what I've read so far, is actually me physically seeing the issues on ground myself.
Correct. I agree.
If 1 or 2 individuals tell me anything, it doesn't mean anything. I need to see it for myself. Before the end of the pandemic, of course, I regularly tour around all the communities, and my door is always open to any community leader.
All right.
It's very strange that I've been communicated through this particular channel. People from that community speak to me all the time, and no one's ever mentioned anything of this grandiose thing to me before.
Thank you so very much, Honourable Member, for your time. All right, thank you.
It's been an incredible day for me, an experience coming into the life of the people of the slum of Otto Ilogbo, Lagos mainland. And this is Stories from the Slums.
We can't talk about education reform if we don't decolonize our education system.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize. Because it's just cultural. And I think it's just human nature.
They stop paying us salary. I don't like remembering it.
I am angry at Nigeria. I'm angry at this government which seems to be letting us down. I'm angry at us as a people.
In the process of struggling to free myself from his hand, he tore my pants and he raped me.
Yes, I commit offense truly.
Young girl, do you know where you are going? I say, I'm going to America. I say, oh. Now so that they talk, you are going to Libya. Which America?
Accident to mark our place. Some people they die now.
This is Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them. If you no talk, they go beat you. Now 2,500 when they pay.
Fame, glamour, success, money, and all forms of flamboyance are what you associate with celebrities. But with the recent pockets of reports of Nigerian celebrities revealing their battles with depression, it calls for concern of a thin line between fame and depression, between appearance and reality, and many rhetorical questions. It is the desire of most artists to have an international deal and get international recognition. The quest for this fame and self-accomplishment continuing with a lot of the big names now relocating outside the country. Nothing seems unchanged as racism is another social menace still confronting them. This leads to depression at the expense of love for their craft. A close observation shows that social media has continuously been a contributory factor. The regular interface with imaginary audience creates a lot of tension and illusions by many of these artists. Recently, many of our favorite stars such as Ari Song, Wajay, Dija, and a host of others have been vocal about their battles with depression. Plus TV Africa spoke to some key players such as a music executive and convener Social Media Week Lagos, Obi Asika, and a mental health specialist Dr. Kadiri Memuna, and a popular Nigerian actor, Arike Akinyoju, who has been vocal about her struggles with depression.
I think it is. Yes, especially in this part of the world that we belong to, Nigeria, fame here, I think is a major cause of depression.
Because human beings are unique, and because human beings are, we all have our personal journey. They are what we call vulnerability risk factors. People are already vulnerable in one way or the other, maybe from adverse childhood experiences, and then with fame, which is somehow as you grow, it may be a childhood fame, because sometimes you see some children, they grow into fame, while some people are deliberate and intentional into achieving fame. Famous people have to keep up with, entertaining us. Famous people have to keep up with a particular personnel. Famous people have to keep up with, with all the challenges, even if they are going through a lot. We do not want to see them down. We are following them for the things that we want to get from them. They are inspiring people, they're influencing people, they're empowering people, they're doing a whole lot. So whatever they may be going through, the society wouldn't want to see that part of them, even if they know they may be going through that is it. So they have to just keep on being, that person we want to see.
We should not be calling talents celebrities. Yes, they have become celebrities, but they became celebrities because of their talents, because of what they do. They are not just celebrities because they exist. So everybody, from my experience in life, all creative people have challenges in terms of putting together their process. And every time, it's like anywhere in the world, if you don't hear of your favorite actor for 5 years, it's one of two things. It's just A, they're not working, and B, they're not at this point in time getting offers. So what I would say is that a lot of people, if you work in the entertainment industries, if you work in those spaces, you will know that it is a high stress, high anxiety business. So therefore, the people who are working in these businesses are constantly seeking for affirmation and for support to see them through what they're doing. So in that regard, if you're in the public eye and you're constantly having to keep up appearances, it can become very, very difficult, especially if things are not going as well as they used to go in the past.
There was a time in my life I passed through depression, but I think it's not because of my career. It's because naturally I'm not the type that, things people say get to. Fine, I feel concerned when they say things or they expect me to live in a certain way and I'm not living that life. I feel concerned and I feel like, but it doesn't really get to me. So if I ever had depression, it wasn't basically on my career level.
That would be great. In fact, that would really, 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 help in this advocacy that, have been blazing the trail in Africa, trying to change the narrative and let it be a movement for people to understand that mental health is as important as our physical health, if not more important. And for the fact that it's intrinsically linked to our physical health, we have to guard, protect, and prioritize our mental health at every given point in time. So if we start seeing the media and entertainment industry putting our mental health as part of their package, it may not necessarily be a department because that's a tall order, but ensuring that from inception, when they are setting up that business, they incorporate what we call an employees assistance program. It's a subtle way of inculcating mental health services within your organization. What that just means is that as a business owner and having artists and producing whatever you're doing in media and entertainment, you and your employees or you and your gang, you and your group have a safe space where you have been able to build a culture of compassion that individuals in that organization can speak up, can speak out, can seek for help from professionals in rendering this employees assistance program.
I don't actually agree that record labels, entertainment companies, or businesses should actually be having mental health departments. I think mental health is a very, very specialized issue. What they should be doing is being aware of mental health and have mental health professionals that they can relate to if they have issues with any of their talents or clients. Unfortunately, for many years, it has always been stigma here. So people do not engage the topic and they don't discuss their problems. But definitely, a lot of talents and a lot of people in society have mental health issues and issues with depression and anxiety and other things of that nature. So it's important to relate to mental health professionals who can help when you have somebody or friends or family or clients or talents who have any issues at all. You could you could insist that your clients and your talents do have regular counseling sessions, do have relationships with counselors and psychiatrists that they can have conversations and unload and unbundle any issues they might have. The best thing anybody can do is to stay engaged with the talent. So the talent, and that means that understand and know your talent very well. Understand what makes them tick, what makes them click, when they are happy, to be happy, or to be in a stable state of mind and frame of mind to enable them to produce their best work. And that normally is, if you're doing that, that means that talent has a strong manager. Strong management is key. And that doesn't necessarily come from the label. That could come from the artist side, but the artist manager, the person that really interfaces every day with the artist. A lot of times the label is literally just there to provide distribution, retail, marketing, and finance.
One dominant recommendation is for this artist to live in their realities and not all about impressing fans who change loyalty at slightest disappointment by their so-called quasi-demigods, whose foibles are as real as any man on the street. The story of Michael Jackson, who died in 2009, and later Whitney Houston in 2012, are few of the sad reminders that despite fame and pageantry, one's mental health must not be ignored. Reporting for Plus TV Africa, Ife Oshunkeye.
Many thanks for joining us on News on the Hour on Plus TV Africa.
State government has approved a bill for the establishment of State Security Network Agency, Amoteco.
We have the highest number of extremely poor people in the world.
He's not concerned about lecturers that are raping students that are under their care. He's concerned about them being stigmatized.
And I can tell you that he will get the result in full measure. He cannot avoid responsibility.
Why the focus on Africa at this point?
The news only cover, one side of Africa, so we always felt like the picture is incomplete, so we need the whole picture.
65% of these people, whom we term as the urban poor, live in settlements, otherwise known as slums.
This is just the tip of the iceberg of the road situations in Lagos, from the mainland to the island.
It's been a closed-door security meeting as the retreat for senior police officers hits day 3.
There's this basket or there's this bowl that we all come to the center to pick from. Everybody has to see Nigeria as an investment vehicle, not as a distributive mechanism.
Still on the foreign scenes, Russia has flatly denied allegations that are spreading disinformation about the new coronavirus outbreak on social media.
Australian Open debutant Coco Gauff defeated defending champion Naomi Osaka in 2 straight sets.
Kenneth Okonkwo Kanayo and Bob Manuel Udoku have been conferred with the Veteran Actor of Nigeria Award.
This is Plus TV Africa.
Plus TV Africa.
Plus TV Africa.
Big stories live here.
Christmas is around the corner, yay! And I just had to start with that because I am excited for those who are excited. Hey there, and welcome to Tea Time Show on Plus TV Africa. This is an entertainment analysis show that does it better than ever. Yes, we sip tea while we serve you the hottest news about celebrities. We break down everything pertaining lifestyle. And when I say we, I'm referring to the none other delectable team, the ones who aspire to inspire, the ones who serve you the best boost, the ones that get into my, I don't know, sometimes I love them, sometimes I hate them. But we are an inseparable team, and that's none other than Ifeolu Oshike and Eniola, baby.
Hey guys. Wagwan.
How's it going?
Christmas is around the...
Yeah. Hey, Faye, you don't have to make it literal, of course.
it's Christmas
Oh
Day,
my gosh.
right? Hell yay.
It's
Fridays. And guess what? It's on a Friday.
Yeah.
So it makes it even better. Because
What we work. I feel like it's really sad. I wish it was on Saturday. Someone had
I've
to
been
work.
tauncing Monday, Tuesday.
You mean what?
Taunt.
Yeah. Okay, like lit. Okay. Sorry.
We
just had
to understand what you're saying. It's a taunt,
because
like
I told my work, I said taunt, like I thought maybe he was trying to say tormented in like a slang or something. I wasn't really sure.
Since
right.
Monday.
I used to say turn, like,
Yeah, well, I've been popping. So, Christmas is making it look like, it's a good year, but we know how crazy 2020 has been, but at the same time, we're not going to let anything hold us back. We're going to keep grinding, we're going to keep shining, and we're going to keep spending. Talk that talk, babe.
That Eniola is the most Christmas ready.
I know, right? I was waiting for you to say it.
Sorry, girl.
You look like Santa.
No, she
Santress.
doesn't. She looks like
You look like Santa.
She looks like no, you look like the mistress that Santa Claus wants to.
Thank you.
All right, enough with the Christmas jokes. Guys, it's not Christmas yet, so we still have to bring all this energy on Christmas Day. So should we go straight into the topics? Or I don't want to say anything. How was your day? Yesterday, did you guys get up to anything specific?
Okay, so I woke up feeling down.
Down?
Yeah, like I felt like, I ain't feeling too good. But, there's certain things that just put you back on your feet. And one of those things just happened to me. And I just felt like, able-bodied man.
Yeah.
Very strong guy, So, it's been crazy, but at the same time, we're still grinding and we're still out here. So my day was busy yesterday, and today I'm still here.
Same thing, but please, did you see the traffic yesterday?
No traffic.
No, I didn't see any traffic.
Oh, okay. It was Shangotedo area.
Okay.
We use PJs. We use
we
don't bowl like that.
Okay.
We don't have Black Friday girl and traffic girl. Hey God, you are falling your hand on this table like too many times.
Don't mind if Don't mind if
Black Friday. Fridays are
Anyway, for me, I woke up feeling like I do not want to work today at all. Like I pushed
like
it.
we have break.
Yeah, I pushed it to the last minute. If not, like I'm actually being to get here on time. I was just like, whatever. I just don't want to do this. But now that I'm on the table, obviously feeling each other's energy, it's like, okay, we can actually do this. Yeah. Okay. So first story of the day is Nollywood veteran Eucharia Anuobi. The actress comes hard on people obsessed with the idea of making money while damning the consequences. Nollywood veteran Eucharia says that anyone who loves money so much without a care of whose ox is God is a child of Satan. Yes. The movie star made this known via her Instagram page yesterday, saying, and I quote, "Loving money to the point of clamoring for it without a care whose ox is God makes you the twin of Judas Iscariot and the offspring of Satan." Like, she was quite, she even gave Bible verses as well, and you'd be surprised by actually like the Bible, and I already knew like both.
Matthew 6,
I already knew both things, so it was quite, accurate to her post, her rants or whatever. But what are your thoughts on that, guys?
Okay, go on.
Okay. First of all, I would say this is deep. Which one is Satan's child and you just... But I get where she's coming from, but I don't think I would have used Satan's child. So I think
she's a pastor, remember that?
She's even the
that was like just too
how
deep.
did she even say it?
Is
God is such a Bible, like English.
But I think she's just literally trying to say, you...
I use that too. I'm a biblical
You use what?
You're a biblical...
Ox is God.
You use a...
Ife
is such a clown.
Jesus.
Can you imagine what Ife would be saying? That he would Ife, the way Ife talks, so away from TV now, and then he will now say, "Ox is God." Ife, please, let me put some myself on TV. Yeah?
For people that know me, they know that it's something I feel.
Wait,
I've known you for how many months now?
09060005719. If you think Ife would actually use such word or such what's it now?
You don't even know!
A phrase. Yeah, if you think Ife would use such a phrase, send us a message. Yeah, 09060005719.
Don't waste your time, please.
Don't worry, people will tell you now. Maybe you don't know me that well as much as I told you.
Yeah, right? For over 2 years now, I don't know you that well.
It's possible.
And not heard you talk.
Yeah,
Why are you guys making me look like I'm a bad guy, like I'm some Billie Eilish?
I would like to hear what you want to say. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Talk. Go ahead.
Thank you. But I think she was literally trying to say, you doing anything for money tells a lot about your character. Like, so I don't think I would have used Satan's child, but anyhow. So you, still saying it, that was just too deep. So you just being this type of person that damning the consequences, no matter what you get, in wherever you are, no matter how you do it, it's a very terrible thing to me. And also, if you know this person is wrong, what this person is doing is wrong, and you're actually supporting him just because of what he's going to give you, that just tells a lot about your character. I think that's where this actress is trying to come from, that you just have to be, you doing anything for money tells a lot about your character. I think she just left it like that.
Okay, well, I don't...
Okay, so to me, integrity is key, right? So if I can't vouch for your integrity because I know you're probably being selfish about what you're getting from me. Like, I know I'm a bad guy, right? And then you're supporting me. I already know the type of person you are. But look, it doesn't make you the child of the Satan. Look, in life, we're all about two things: happiness and money. And maybe three things in family: happiness, family, money. And those are the three major things that really matter in life, as far as I'm concerned. And to be honest, I don't care whose ox is God when I'm making my money. Do you understand? But it doesn't mean that I'm going to be the armed robber, or I'm going to be the hired assassin or kidnapper, or I'm going to do something extremely stupid. But if I have to make certain very critical decisions just for my money to be complete, because in Yoruba they say "Kowokpe." Do you understand?
Yes.
I will definitely do it. You see a lot of businessmen that look, they know that this will affect their brother's business, but they go ahead to do it. So depending on what decision you're making, as long as it is not negative, caring with Ox's God, this is not really none of your business.
she's
Stack your
talking
paper
about,
out. No, I'm getting there. Hold up. So, but I get where she's coming from. She now went on to say that, you know, this person requires more remunerations, and then you're doing business with somebody. You're like, I'm taking 10%. I don't care how much you make. If you make 100 million, just give me my 10%. But afterwards, you get greedy, and then you now want to say, no, my money is now 30%. You made so much money. 10% is not enough. That one is what integrity stands for. Do you get? You have to be a man of your word. So if I give you my word, then I tell you, okay, Annie, I need you to sell this bracelet for me. I don't care if you sell it 100 million. But just give me 10% of the money. Then when I now say that you sold it for 200 million, and I'm like, I want 30%. Do you understand? Now you should be able to back, put your money where your mouth is. Back your words. That the two things a man has is words and his I can't say this on TV. His words and his testicles. Yes, his testicles. That's English language. So. You have to stick to those two things, your word and your testicles. Stand by them with all diligence.
Yeah, sorry, you wanted to say something, Tife.
Yeah, you just clarified it. I was going to say, you going after money and letting go of your principles and what you stand for. I think that's what she was really targeting.
Yeah, she is definitely talking about principles, but I would argue that most of the successful people that I've known or have talked about their attributes and characters, and they're all children of the devil, because they don't have the sentiments that she's asking for.
Yeah.
This is very, very sentimental. I mean, there's a part where you say you know that they're evil. No, even that is still sentimental, because honestly speaking, I will praise the person that I know is rubbish, especially if I'm not like personal. I'll say what I need to say. Yeah, if I'll say what you think I liked all my bosses, or I liked all the people that that's in charge of me. But I'm not going to say, I don't like you, whatever. I'll say, yes, are wonderful and great. That's lovely.
Because, man, at the end of the month, bang, bang, bang.
And I'll take my L and I'll go and I'll do what I need to do. If I know that somebody is really difficult, or if I know, like I made a post, I think day before yesterday, that I don't keep grudges. I literally don't know how to keep grudges. But I like to know who I'm dealing with, and then I'll act accordingly. So for me, I will fit in that category of praising you, quote unquote, because I know who you are, yes, and I'm interacting with that wisely, at least to the best of my ability. But I'll still say what I need to say to get what I need to get. If that makes sense.
But guess what?
Period.
Some people can be some type of way to some people, and they're not that type of way to me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So if I know that this person is very, very strict, or this person is behind to a whole lot of other people, but to me, you're like one of the realest I've ever known. It won't stop me from praising you for being good to me. I don't care how you treat me.
Yeah, and so I don't think it's every time your opinion is needed. Like you meet bad people every day, but it's not your place to tell them that they're bad. How am I dealing with this bad person? If it's like, I'm just going to get a package from this person. I get my package and I'll tell you look nice or whatever, and I'll go home. It really depends on the extremity. Yes, I'm not going to pretend like as if, no, there isn't levels to it. And if you say Ox is God, I don't think you can make that you can't put balance to that. Ox being God is that you are directly hurting someone. And for me, if it's not built on sentiments, because if it's that maybe both of us are fighting for something, and I'm going to go for it, I don't need to hurt your feelings, but
it's like Big Brother Naija.
But there are some things, like fraud, for example, is a good example of, I know that this I am doing is just ill and harsh or whatever. So in that kind of case,
yes, you're the child of the Satan.
Popular Instagram influencer Tunde Ednon has called our Wizkid the audacity for having his hands in getting the audacity fair. Tunde. Anyway, for Wizkid, for basically calling out Wizkid for getting his hands in his Instagram account that was suspended. You know how we do it here. We like to follow up with the story. The singer-turned blogger whose Instagram page was suspended some hours, like few hours ago from yesterday, opened a new page to threaten has threatened to call out everyone who reported this page. Obviously, as Ife mentioned yesterday, his account was taken out because he didn't follow some guidelines. Anyway, he wrote, and I quote, "Calling some haters tomorrow on my live who reported my account at 3 p.m. I got notified today that my account I got notified. I think that's what he's trying to say. I got notified today that my account has been disabled. Well, nothing surprises me a lot. I see Wizkid's handwork and some failed bloggers who has finally seen my downfall.
First off, let me go on, because when you say, who have finally seen my downfall, that's, you even think so little of yourself. So why do you think we should think so much of you? Because, man, yeah, we all fall and we all rise. It's how you rise that actually makes you who you are. It's not your failure. It's not your falling. So the fact that you are...
The fall was shut down, Sha.
That's the point.
Yeah, but get up now. Don't say that they have finally seen my downfall.
But
that
they saw the downfall, though. It's not.
But he gave up on himself too. The fact that I'm falling doesn't mean you have seen my downfall.
No, but
haven't you seen somebody that fell down and did front flip?
Oh,
and you do front flip and you get back
but
up.
let's
and you
not
be
act like as if
swag.
him losing that account is not a downfall. It is.
And then another thing, sorry, I have to bring this in. This is another conspiracy theory. Now, I feel like it's going to call out some people because we don't want to hear what he has to say about Wizkid. We want to hear what he has to say about some field bloggers. And it's going to make some people go and follow his new account.
Just to make sure
that they are updated. Do you understand? So it's like a clickbait thing. So I'm not even going to give him that pleasure.
But Tunde Ednut has the clout. I don't think he doesn't have genuine followers. He did. He does. So he can start again. And one of the reasons why...
But he has started again. It's not he can't.
What is... No, I'm not by opening an account. By having a leading... prominent Instagram account that people go to for information. That's what I mean. I think he's capable of doing it again because it's about your personality and your traits. Are you consistent? I'm not consistent with social media. I know that I'm not doing what Tunde Ednut is doing to, keep that kind of account running and stuff. So he's done it before, so it is possible for him to do it again. And I think he knows the tricks of social media. But does that mean that he's completely lying? I don't know if I want to believe.
Why would
that.
Wizkid even pay attention to
you? That was what I wanted to bring up right now.
Yeah.
Why are you caught?
I'm sorry. Wizkid.
Yes, I don't think Wizkid will concern himself in making sure.
Okay, maybe not that. But are you saying that these celebrities don't care about what Tunde Ednut says?
They do. But I don't think Wizkid just want to go that
What
far.
have you seen on Wizkid on Tunde Ednut that you have
I don't follow Tunde.
And this Wizkid, calling out Wizkid has been going on for a long time.
Who follows Tunde Ednut?
I don't know.
The only thing I know about Tunde Ednut is I'm catching cold.
Oh my gosh, and Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell. What was that?
What?
But don't lie, it was a banger that time. I actually jammed to it, but now I listen to it like...
What time? What are you talking about? What? Yeah, excuse us.
What did you say?
You said?
Which song was the banger? Jingle Bell or...
No, Catching Cold, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Catching Cold.
Oh, no.
Why did you... I was so scared.
I was going to exit you from this premises. 600 years!
I
was confused. Like,
you've been
exiled.
It's not that deep.
Jingle Bell.
I said the Jingle Bell just released with Tiwa Savage.
No, Catching Cold was a banger, and that was his only good moment, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You understand? Yeah, absolutely. That was his only good musical moment. He did better as a blogger than as a musician.
Tunde Ednut needs to admit that sometimes I always get confused what a hater is because it's such a relative thing, right? If I'm doing something bad, I'm selling drugs, for example, and that's what I used to feed my family. I use it to feed, like it's my thing, right? And you go report me, you're a hater, right? So, like, are you really a hater?
Do you know what that song just reminds? That just reminds me of B.I.G. It was all a dream. I used to bring What Up magazine, talk about Papa and Avity up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall every Saturday. Rappers know Mr. Hey, you guys don't know that song? The intro of that song is all the people that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. You guys don't know? Oh wow! Okay, I'm very old on this table.
No, I mean I know. I don't know the lyrics.
Like this?
I don't know why he does this all the time.
I'm so
They're going
sorry.
to drag us now that we don't know B.I.G's verse and all of that.
Well, I'm so sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, it's things like that. Haters are always very like relative. Like you can call me a hater, but I stand for what I stand for. So I think with him, it's a bit confusing. Like Is it that you think that they don't have a right to do what they did? Like, are you saying that you don't deserve for your account to be taken down? Did you or did you not break the Instagram guidelines? Like, talk to us. I really want to know what
you get reported and Instagram goes to investigate and they see
and
that, okay, they're just interested.
I actually expected too much from Today Not Sorry. I thought like with this, yes, I expected like, okay, how they close his account right now, it will reflect that, okay, what did I do? I think, I was expecting too much from him. That was it. I was just expecting him to like apologize, like, okay, I was wrong, and for he coming out called Whiskey, I was like, guy.
Failed bloggers.
Your expectation was it was all a dream.
Oh my god. Fair. Anyway, I think I have to admit that I don't expect anything from him. I've never expected anything from him. I don't think he's capable of being that introspective. The way he was really confident at being so irrational and toxic.
You know, thinking everybody's a hater.
Yeah, like he really thinks, like I always say, he really thinks it's the best thing after fried rice or whatever he likes. I don't know, plantain. He really just feels like, you know,
I don't like Samala. That type of person.
And who argue that Mala is nicer than pounded jam. Not those kind of people.
You know them.
Anyway, so I think he's always had that he's not, he definitely lacks that, what's it called, emotional awareness, or that, does he even consider other people and what his impact is having on other people, rather than saying, why is this person saying what they're saying? He'll say, oh, this one is failed, this one is jealous, this one, he's just really
And then, I don't
insecure.
know who Tunde Ednut is in the scheme of things to call somebody failed. You're a failed musician, you're a failed blogger, and you still feel the need to call somebody failed?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look into the mirror.
Bruv, like, remove the peg from your eye before you remove the log from somebody else.
Yeah, it's okay with Tunde Ednut. Let Tea Time go on a quick break, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, hi. My name is Stephanie Linus. Keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Stay tuned.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 they pay.
Hi, my name is Folike Damola Salako. Keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Don't touch that down.
Hello and welcome back. This is still Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. If you're joining us for the first time, you've missed enough, but we still have a lot more for you. So don't be bothered. We've talked about Tunde Ednut, and we've also talked about the offsprings of Satan. But moving on away from all of that, we have popular singer Oluwatosin Ajibade, better known as Mr. Easy, You'd be surprised that his name doesn't actually fit him, in my opinion. Anyway, has lamented after getting robbed in Ghana during one of his shows. I just thought his name would be Chinedu or something. Anyway, taking to Twitter, Mr. Easy offered to reward anyone who could find and return his gadgets. He wrote, "Abeg, if anybody see my laptop for Accra, make it holla me. I go give him some cool cash."
I go give him some cool cash. You go
Yeah,
on.
that's what's
Go on.
But on the real, anybody we find I promise
On
I
the
go
real,
do well.
anybody will find them. I promise I go give them.
Okay. If you open my laptop, you go see this artwork for the place
If you
where
open
you
my laptop, you go see this artwork for the place where
you for enter password.
where you for enter password.
Find Mr. Easy laptop hashtag. Be like, now wow. Be like, I go tiptoe lane, go beg the boys for there.
It be like I go tiptoe lane, go beg the boys for there.
I sure say them be go listen to me.
I sure say then go listen to me.
Me self, I be hustler one time.
Me self, I be hustler one time like that.
Hello. Anyway, in another tweet, Mr. Easy called.
Like we're in church,
I know.
When the pastor is speaking
Anyway, in another tweet, Mr. Easy basically called for support from Ghanaian singers likes of Sarkodie, which he called a governor, Shatawale, and Stonebwoy to help retrieve his properties back. This is clearly something that is really important to him. I'm okay. All this pidgin English. This pidgin English is giving me stress. But yeah, it seems like it's clearly important to him. Like, I know how it feels to lose stuff. I can be really careless. My mom used to say to me when I was younger that if you could lose your butt, I'll have been buttless for a long time because I'll have left it on some chair, some party somewhere. So I know how it really hurts, especially when you now get older and then there's smartphones which are like infused with our lives. It feels like you've lost a child or something. So I don't know what's important to him. Maybe songs are in there, maybe, masters.
Now,
or
knowing
whatever.
creatives, right? Your phone, your laptops, especially in this digital age, are like your tools for work, which is why we keep telling at Nigerian Police NG, right, that look, not everybody that carries a laptop or uses an iPhone is a Yahoo boy. Some of us just have a lot of work in there that we can't afford to lose it. I got a new phone recently and I had to just back it up and get all my old stuff back. I couldn't use the new phone until I was able to do that. Why? Because most of my information are in there. If you ask me for anything, I can't be going back to the old phone to get it. So I understand where Mr. Easy, this guy probably has a new album in that laptop that no one has access to because
Then
it's
that is also clearly not on the server.
Yes.
It looks like something that's not on the internet.
Yeah, so this looks like it's really contact. Do you know how many numbers you have on your phone that you can never get back onto? You're in Rome, Romania, Italy. You understand? Like, you have to be in certain places to get those contacts back. They're not people that are on the internet that you can just check them up on Instagram and be like, okay, can you send me your number? Those people, you have to see them one-on-one, but you have those numbers. These are people that you've had contact with, and your phone is gone. Man, you'll beg anybody.
I think I'm just going to reflect on the security system. Because I've noticed that during December period, the crime rates are always kind of crazy because of this festive period. So I just think we as an individual we should take more precautions when we are going out with our phones or our laptops. Because just yesterday I met up with my cousin. He was telling me that they robbed him around I think Aja Road. So that just made me created like an eye opener. Even when I'm going inside my car, inside my sister's car, she was always like, put your phones under your lap or at the back of the seat. So I just think this period we should make a mental effort to be more careful.
Well, let me ask you a question. Being this fine, don't you think I may just steal you away?
Oh my goodness. I think, guys, audience, me and you, let's continue the show.
Enough precautions.
Let's just frame them out of the thingy. Let's do the show since they need a moment, clearly. But anyway, I really like that aspect that you brought because I felt as well that Mr. Easy's tweets kind of subtly reminded us that actually this is the season for a lot of that. I also want to talk, I know this is me being really feminist now, but I also want to bring in rape as well. This is the period where they rape at house parties.
I was just
like,
thinking about stealing you away.
like no, as in like, you know, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of, I mean, while there is a lot of celebration and so much is going on really quickly, not everybody is out there to just celebrate. A lot of people have hidden agendas. So I think in general for everything, and just because I'm being a woman now, that's the only thing that comes to my mind. But I'm sure there's other things, even internet fraud, you know, I don't know what else, security-wise, but just get really, really alert with everything, where you swipe your cards, where you put your PIN numbers, where you shop online. There's a lot of scams going on, a lot of false sales or whatever. But, you know, that for me is really important because I know that most of those concerts, when I was a lot younger, I used to go home with no phones. Like, I'll enter the car, the zip is open, phone is gone, and all of that. I don't know how it's going to be with this sort of lockdown. And yeah, things are a bit slower than normal, but we can still definitely take
And then
caution.
I also want to just touch on the fact that, yes, it's the Christmas season, but this is the time where you can be a whole lot nicer to people because in as much as you're celebrating, there's some people that can't even afford to eat. So try your best because that's the true definition of haters. And they're not haters because they want to be, but because they can't afford what you can. And when you are flexing it and putting it all in their faces, just remember, just look at your side and look at that person that looks hungry that hasn't eaten and be like, yo, come join me. Dine with anybody, be nice to people, be good
your
to
security
people.
guards,
Show
your
love.
house girl, that person in your house.
That's the
couples of
this
Christmas, like
Okay, I turn it into church.
Okay,
It's okay.
okay.
We've heard. Nigerian top 5 Christmas, you see, Christian into my mouth now. Nigerian top 5 Christmas traditions is something that we want us to talk about really quickly. And I think this is mostly for our Alta TV viewers, people who don't really know for sure, or even the I Just Got Backs, who don't really know for sure what the Christmas tradition feels like. This is for you guys. So the first one that you say is the Nigerian tradition for Christmas is bangers and fireworks. One of the easiest ways.
That on Monday.
Oh, nice.
I felt like a child.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
that very, very quickly. One of the easiest ways to tell Christmas is approaching is through bangers and fireworks. As the D-Day approaches December 25th, which is Friday, the intensity of deafening noise increases in step with the final grand accumulation on Christmas Eve. And I was actually going to say that I haven't heard any.
Yeah,
so
because,
I'm glad that you.
So the reason
banger.
why I would say you haven't heard any is because the Nigerian government is quite against it. There was a time when it was causing a lot of noise pollution and it was confusing us from who was the real armed robber. So there's a certain, I think there's categories to the ones you can purchase right now. There's one that goes really loud, that is like a what's her name? And what's his name? August Alsina. Yes, you guys know that story, right? And you know about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. So yes, my girlfriend don't mind when I have some, entanglement.
Well, and
I just want to talk about that.
But what makes you think Aniela isn't the girlfriend? Why are you jumping?
If Aniela isn't what?
The girlfriend.
Aniela isn't the girlfriend.
I'm not.
You want to deny me on national?
I'm sorry.
You want to deny me on national TV? No, is that what you want to do? Should I walk out?
You should have told me.
I don't know how you did it. If you were in traffic and you were playing banger, but you're also in the same place, blowing bangers together, like how did it work?
It works. Don't worry. Don't try to
I don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, I've never liked bangers. I thought they were really upset. Like maybe it's the way I was also introduced to it. Like when we were much younger at church, by the time I think it was crossover. When you come out of church, it's just bangers all over the place. I remember we used to try. It was like a maze run or something. You don't have to run and avoid a banger touching you. And I remember one time banger touched me. So since then, it's as good as like fearing a wild dog for me. Like it's really upsetting. But I really like fireworks. I'm not gonna lie. We used to do fireworks all the time. I don't think I've stopped that. Even in my travels, fireworks is kind of like a global thing. I think bangers you can see maybe for Lagos, Nigeria, but fireworks we still kept on doing outside.
I think bangers are just more dangerous because you see some people, they just peel up their faces. Well, yes, when I was still young, I was young, a guy actually held it close to his face. He just peeled the side. But please, so that's why I think they have to create a restriction. But please, did you ever do this thing, like try experiments with bangers, like put sand inside a bottle, then throw bangers?
Okay, now we're going to another level. The second tradition.
No, our generations are different.
Oh, I've forgotten.
Don't say that. It sounds creepy when you're dating someone that's out of your generation. Okay, let me just stop now. Let me stop now. The next,
Don't worry.
the next, no, she's an adult. The next Christmas tip we have, to tell that we are in a festive season here, at least in Lagos, Nigeria, is traveling in traffic. This is probably the Christmas tradition nobody really likes. Not that traveling per se, but the accompanying road traffic gridlock that comes with the season. But hey, Christmas Nigerian style wouldn't actually seem like Christmas without the frenzy of last-minute travel, poly-packed travel cases, and of course the traffic bottlenecks on all major roads that say it is Christmas time.
Trust me, there's no travel this period though. There's a supermarket where
Don't say that to the Igbo people. As they're talking now,
Days.
all my Igbo friends are like disappearing.
They shouldn't get caught. So stop being a snitch right now, because there's a supermarket where I get groceries, and the lady was supposed to travel, I think, on Monday, and then she saw me yesterday. I went to get some stuff. And she was like, if I'm so angry. This is the first year I'm not going to go to my village.
And what's stopping her?
COVID-19 restrictions, darling.
Well, the buses are open. They've never stopped them. They've never
traveling. I heard
they've never actually stopped them. The buses. That's something that I feel like we didn't really discuss. Because even when there was lockdown, even before November, the buses were still moving interstate travel. So it's still, if she's really sad, she can actually go home. It's not a problem. People have gone.
She has people like me in Lagos that are keeping it alive.
Except that. So yeah, people are actually traveling. So I know the traffic actually gets worse. Oh my gosh, I remember last year, I was in Lekki Roundabout, no cab for 3 hours. We ate dinner.
Where are you going?
I was trying to get to Fowl's Bad Guys concert or something.
You're going to the concert.
Anyway, okay, so let's go on a break really quickly, but we'll come back with more tips on what Nigeria feels like with Christmas, period. We'll be right back.
Hello, wonderful people. My name is Olaide Bakari, a.k.a. Alaja Tio. Come on, keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Don't change that dial.
We can't talk about education reform if we don't decolonize our education system.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize. Because it's just cultural. And I think it's just human nature.
They stop paying us salary. I don't like remembering it.
I am angry at Nigeria. I'm angry at this government which seems to be letting us down. I am angry at us as a people.
In the process of struggling to free myself from his hand, he tore my pants and he raped me.
Yes, I commit offense truly.
Young girl, do you know where you are going? I say, I'm going to America. I say, now so that they talk, you are going to Libya. Which America?
As it then do mark our place, some people they die now.
This is Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Okay, and we are back, still in the spirit of what makes Christmas in Nigeria. The next on our list is jollof rice. Rice is #1 staple food in Nigeria, and this wasn't always the case, but that's a matter for another day. But now every Nigerian eats rice at least once every single day. For a country, for a country with a population of nearly 200 million people, that translates to hundreds of thousands of tons eaten every single day. Well, if you think that that's a lot of rice, wait until Christmas Day when there is so much rice served and eaten. You wonder where all the grains are coming from. That has always amused me.
For people who don't know, today's our end of the year party.
Yes, Plus TV Africa.
Yes, and yes, you are not invited in case you are thinking of.
Oh wow, sorry.
Yeah. You are not invited. We invite you next year, but this year is just for us, yeah. And I know the amount of. I'm part of the committee. The rice that is coming in today, I didn't eat since last night. I'm starving. Rice. And then so Christmas is all about rice. You know, there's nothing better than Nigerian rice when it's Christmas Day. You know, jollof rice. To be precise, yeah. So I'm looking forward to a lot of rice
the highlight
today.
of sharing jollof.
If it's not like that burnt charcoal, like fire rice, I'm really not interested. I don't know.
Ghana. Oh, my Ghanaian sister.
Anyway, Christmas clothes, that's the next one on our list. Seriously, who wants to be left out of the new fashion at Christmas time? Absolutely no one. Okay, well, at least very, very few. This perhaps is the oldest Christmas tradition in Nigeria. From the early days of the introduction of Christianity by the colonists, Nigeria have come to associate Christmas festivals with the buying of of new clothes or making of new dresses. And it's just continued like that. You have to have one outfit that just probably has never been seen before.
Why did you bring this up? This one is spinning me. Because I have this tailor. His name is Jimmy. He's my Calabar brother.
Jimmy, they're calling you out.
The guy was supposed to make me my Christmas native. You know, I already planned it. I even bought some Gucci shoes and stuff. I'm gonna wear it. My mom sent it to me for my birthday. And this my tailor said, guy, I cannot deliver until February. It's paining me. So I don't have new Christmas clothes too. So in case you people want to donate clothes, but if not, we look fly every day. We're born fly, so don't worry. We'll still wear some. But Jimmy, I just called you out. In case you are planning on doing business with Jimmy, please change your mind.
Wow. And you're lovely, please.
Like I was saying before, it's just a tradition for me.
I feel like your outfit is Christmas ready. I think so. Like Christmas Day, you wore this. I wish we could stand on Plus TV on Tea Time show. To be honest, no, she didn't.
No,
3 days ago. I'm planning for Christmas now. Have you bought
anything for Christmas? I have to get one thing for myself.
I have. I actually got some stuff. Well, I didn't really buy it for Christmas.
I bought accessories for myself, but I didn't get clothes.
I bought new clothes for the month of December. I'm partying, I'm moving around, and one of those outfits I know I would probably wear, even if it's not for Christmas, but for like a special whatever. I don't really do Christmas Day like that.
Some of us were born fly, so clothes no be problem. You know, say the clothes no be problem.
Oh yes, okay. And the final one, Christmas decorations. If it is the season to be jolly and happy, nothing says I am jolly and happy than the decorations at Christmas time. As soon as December comes around, Nigerians dive into their closet for the Christmas decorations, take them out, dust them off, and hang them up. Nothing says I am ready for Christmas or season's greetings more than the decoration of Christmas, which is why when you come to my house, you will not see that I'm in the Christmas thing because I don't even put a Christmas tree up. I don't know.
Okay, but in the spirit of Christmas, and we have a Christmas tree.
If you don't have to be literal, it's okay.
I don't have anything. So can we just sing?
Do you want to carry this tree to the house while you're at it? If I know, please.
Okay, I will sing for you guys. I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Christmas decorations. We don't have that much time.
Okay. You're not gonna sing?
No, we don't have time.
We don't have time.
And your voice is not nice.
My Oprah voice. Oh, thank you, producer, for showing us the Christmas trees, the Christmas
Oh my
season.
gosh, Eniola, please, your decoration points. Did you decorate your house? Did you? Okay, Ife, did you?
I'm enough decorations.
Oh my God. Wahala. Anyway, I think another bonus point would be bone straight hair. It seems like if you don't have a bone straight hair this December, you are not ready for Christmas, girl. So some of us don't we're okay with our dreadlocks, but
okay. So I went for a company's end of the year party on Sunday. So one of the girls who won ₦1 million, she came out. Yeah, she won ₦1 million. Yeah, that company was giving this. They did award nights. Like 1 million was flying everywhere. 1 million. They give out 7 cars.
What?
Yes, and they were not just your regular cars. Like I think I can even call them out because they are media partners. But that's free publicity. Call me up if you want me to call you out tomorrow. But the shot gave $1 million. And then one of the girls that won the $1 million, she was working. AY was the MC, and Ajebo. And then she flipped one hair like that. AY say, people they buy straight bone, your own straight, you get hunchback. I laughed. This one not be straight bone.
I don't know what it is with the obsession with straight bone, but it seems like it'd be bone straight actually.
It's bone straight.
For quite a while now. I don't know why it's trending this year.
The bone no straight. So you get.
And I actually don't like that hairstyle. It's just too European, but that's just me. Anyway, let's go on a music break. I think we've talked your ears out. We'll be right back though. Don't go anywhere. We have special guests in the building.
Let me be your soldier. If you need somebody to fight for you, let me be your champion, babe. If you need somebody to win your races, let me be your bodyguard. Baby, will you give me the keys to your heart? Say me gonna never go nowhere, oh no. Say you be my bestie, I need your love. My bestie, me no talk I guess it. I beg you, make I hold you down. Say you be my bestie, my bestie. Me no talk I guess it. Oh, I beg you, make I hold you down. You show me how to love you, babe. I know the times you need my love to carry you, baby. Oh, teach me how to love you, babe. I feel my heart skip every time you look my way. Say you be my bestie, I need your love. My bestie, me no talk I guess it. I beg you, make I hold you down. Say you be my bestie, my bestie. Me no talk I guess it. Oh, I beg you, make I hold you down.
Scream in my ear. Hello and welcome back. This is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. I hope you enjoyed that music break. We have very sizzling studio at the moment. We have not one but two queens in the house, and I really have no idea how we're going to handle this beauty today, but we're going to make an attempt. First, we have Miss Tourism Nigeria Southern Queen Alice Ebika. 26 with the OND and HND in food science and technology and an impressive diploma in Chinese Mandarin language. And is a beauty queen with a passion extremely similar to mine. And yeah, you guessed right, presenting. Alice is passionate about TV presenting and also about tackling sickle cell. Miss Tourism Nigeria is another special guest with us. Eastern Queen Adeze Chibueke. 23, who is an undergraduate in business administration with her feet already grounded into business administration and humanitarianism. Adeze is a believer of humanity, a rare trait because human beings ain't much, and feels that their philanthropy spirit with goals of becoming renowned for that. Please welcome with me the beautiful queen.
I'm very shy when I see beautiful girls. I probably won't be able to look at you guys. Welcome to the show. How are you guys doing?
Oh, you're fine.
So dramatic. I'm a very shy person.
Oh my gosh, please. You guys.
Wow, you guys are too fine.
I mean, you must get that all the time.
How you guys
My
doing?
mirror tells me that.
Queens,
Don't worry. I'm very comfortable when it comes to beauty.
COVID-19 shout, this excessive touch.
Don't worry. We use sanitizer.
Exactly.
Anyway, guys, beauty space and all of that. You guys were just crowned something at least, which is a big deal. People might not understand that it takes more than just being pretty. So I want your expressions really quickly because we're running out of time and I want to juice the life out of this conversation. So just give us really quickly what your experience has been like to be crowned so far.
Okay, we were crowned roughly 2 weeks ago. I came into this pageant in order to be a face of motivation to youngsters who live with sickle cell anemia, and so far it has been amazing. I get DMs every day of people who watch the show say, oh my God, I got to know about you, and because of you, I am much more educated about sickle cell anemia, and I know how best to treat people who live with it. I also get messages from survivors who tell me that, oh my God, thank you for motivating me. Because of you, I am no longer shy about my sickle cell genotype status because I am actually one. So it has been amazing being a face of motivation to these youngsters out there. I mean, this is the main reason why I am crowned. And I am so happy that I am fulfilling this dream of mine.
Awesome.
So humanitarian work, being done.
Nolly has her thoughts as well for the journey.
Okay, done.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful journey. Like, I've got to experience a lot of things. I needed some level of exposure. I think I'm getting that right now.
Okay,
Period. So I think that's the one thing I'm enjoying right now. Even though it's not easy, but I trust the process.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm really, really happy about the platform. Yeah, in general.
All right. So when we're talking about the platform, and you know, you have your sickle cell stuff going on, humanitarian and business as well. How do you think you're gonna combine that? Because you know, at the end of the day, when you start getting really busy, do you think you'll still be able to focus on humanity? Because, like she said, a lot of people will turn you off and they'll make you feel like there's no need to be good. And, so how do you think you're gonna handle that? I'm coming to you, but I want to get a take first.
Okay, I'm human first of all, so regardless of how anybody makes me feel, it won't stop my vision, it won't stop my purpose, because I'm passionate about it. So I don't think anyone can make me, you know, change my mind, because that's what I live for. Like, I'm happy when people around me are comfortable and safe. So regardless of how you make me feel, I see it as a duty, it's a responsibility. Just like saying you're currently with your younger sister or your younger brother, you want to leave the house. Doesn't make sense. So.
All right, so let's talk about sickle cell. You know, I think that is something that a lot of people are really not educated about in this part of the world. You know, you still find, you know, people that are not compatible getting married to each other. So I want to give you this platform, you know, to educate people, you know what genotype.
In summary,
what,
because
summary,
you people can take over the conversation. We've had a sickle cell advocate on the table.
Yeah, so in summary, I'm 30 seconds actually.
The time I'm kidding.
Okay, first and foremost, I just want to urge Nigerians to make sure that they know their genotype, their partner's genotype, before they go to lock hands. I mean, sickle cell is not something you joke about. It's not something you would say when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. It's something that you have to be educated and know, okay, if this happens, how am I going to handle it? I mean, people fall in love and all of that. During our parents' time, they're not really much educated about IVF and methods that you can actually use to prevent having a sickle cell child. So even who comes into the world to live with sickle cell anemia, I mean, this is 2020. We should know better.
It's very possible. But let's move it to the Christmas festival season, as it is. Are there responsibilities you guys have to? Because I'm sure you have your personal plans, right? But are there responsibilities as crowned queens now that you have to fulfill this Christmas period?
Their responsibilities, actually. I mean, this is Christmas period. This is the festive period where you get to see children. They are free from school. You can meet them at your homes. You can meet them.
Was that a personal thing for you, or is your body that crowned you asking you to go and do these things?
No. It's a personal thing, actually. It comes to me freely, because even before I was crowned, I've always been an advocate for sickle cell anemia. Sometimes I go over to hospitals to meet sick sickle cell patients there, talk to them and see how they're doing and so on. Of course, if I get the opportunity to do this festive period, I'm in for it.
Okay. And you, what do you have in plans?
Okay, I have a lot of plans, but then I just want to use this. Like I said to myself the other day that this Christmas is not for me. Like, it's a season of planning for me. So I think it's a season of planning for me. So I'm going to use this month to plan how my 2020 will be. So I'm not really 2021.
Some of us are in 2021 already.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So how my 2021 will be. So I'm not really all about the Christmas thing.
Right.
It's next year that I'm going to celebrate my own Christmas.
Right.
So it's just.
If there's somebody out there who's wanting to be in the beauty space, we've had this conversation a lot of the times, but I think it's different for each girl. What would that one thing be that you would tell them to either look out for or have? Like, what's that one thing you think they need to do or have to walk in that space of competing in the beauty
and the challenges,
beauty pageant world? Because I know it's a very different world.
Like, it's very, very challenging. Very challenging. I would say that you should ask yourself, is this what I want to do? Because starting first, you're not going to get paid. So a lot of people, they have this money thing in their mind that, hey, once I get in, I'm going to get money. It should be your passion first. So if it's not your passion, I would advise you should not go into it, because it will take you years off. Okay, so
passion.
Yeah, your passion, number one. Then secondly, I think I should you should believe in God, because you have passion and you do not believe in God, you don't have faith, it's not going to work for you. So these are my two things that keeps.
Alrighty, passion, faith in God.
Okay, beauty pageant is a beauty sport. I want people to know this. Sport, S-P-O-R-T. It's not just something that you come into because you have a very fine face. You have to ensure that you actually have the passion, just as my co-queen said. You're passionate about a cause, and you're not just the fine face. You know how to speak. You know how to present the brand of which you will be crowned under. So if you look forward into becoming a beauty queen someday, I would want you to actually sit yourself down and say, okay, when I get a crown on my head, what am I actually presenting? What will I represent? Because, I mean, there are youngsters out there who look up to people. I mean, people have role models. And if you're being crowned and you don't have a positive impact on the society, then what's the merit in? It's a waste of time. So I think you should just sit back and ask yourself, okay, as a beauty queen, what would I be known for? What would I educate the younger ones? And all of that.
All right, so I think it would be nice for you guys to put a smile on somebody's face out there, you know, this festive season, by singing us a Christmas song together.
Can we sing?
Okay.
What song? Decide right now, because we're running out of time.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's really right.
In fact, you know what? That's how I'm going to end the show. And I wish we had more time, because you can tell that there's a lot of brains coming out. We could talk more about you guys. Exactly. But obviously, you can follow them on the social medias really quickly. What are your social medias?
Yeah, mine is at Call Me Adeze on Instagram, Facebook. HRM Queen Adeze Chibike. Yes, Call Me Adeze on Instagram.
Okay, so on Instagram, I am the Ebika Olohu, THEEBIKA-OLUOHU. And on Facebook, I have a Facebook page, Ebika Olohu, EBIKA-OLUOHU. So I'm waiting in my DMs.
Waiting. And that is how, unfortunately, that's how we wrap up today's episode. But thank you guys so much for watching. You can join the conversation on social media with the hashtag #TeaTime, or tweet at us at +TV Africa. Remember, you can catch up on all our previous episodes in case you didn't start this one early, including all our exclusive content by subscribing to our YouTube channel at +TV Africa. You can also watch Tea Time in RTTV in London and in Ben Television. A big thank you got to my co-anchor Ife Oluwaoshike and Eniola, who had to step down due to social distancing, and of course my beauty queens, Alice and Adeze, for just joining us and bracing us with your beauty, and of course my entire production team in the back doing their thing. Thank you so much. My name is Ife Oluwaomai, your favorite. This is +TV Africa.
Thank you.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
Now 500 naira they collect them.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 they pay.
Dr. Benjamin Olowo-Jibutu is offering free health services in collaboration with the Lagos State Government for fibroids, lipomas, and hernia. There were so many patients, but there was a special case. name is Moyo Shore. Moyo's case is different. She sat alone. Moyo is indeed a special case. It all started like a toothache.
My name is Moyo Ajibola. I'm 42 years old. So this problem started 2014. I am an hairdresser. So I thought I just feel that pain in that particular teeth. So I went to the hospital with the hope that they will just remove that teeth. So on getting to the hospital, I saw the doctor. The doctor gave me test to go and do. I said, test for what? He said, I should go and do the test.
My leg represents my hand, you know. God is a miracle worker, and nobody's useless. It's only when you want to make yourself a useless person. God sees that I